Attention students, the Jabroni University Network is now in session. Please make your way to class.
All right, well, Wes, it's your pick now.
Mine's probably as on the nose as Drew's is, but my first pick, which would be the second overall, is Bubba Sawyer, Leatherface, from the 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice.
Yeah. Is Bubba Sawyer the actor's name?
No, the actor's name is Gunnar Hansen, but the family's name is the Sawyer family.
Oh, and I never even knew that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought Bubba Sawyer was the big black cop from Police Academy.
From Police Academy.
Hightower?
Yeah.
We all knew instantly where you were going.
Oh yeah,
That's great.
That's another like you said. I mean, this is like we're gonna get the top four, but yeah, just that,
for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
I find him the most interesting still. I mean, aside from that's my favorite movie of all time, but there is a level of humanity to him that the others don't have because there are moments in that movie where he's distraught with what he's doing and. The dinner table scene where he's wearing like the dress and the women's apron and that woman's, face with lipstick on. And like he has all these weird parts of him that he's trying to appease people and trying to make people happy. And, but also like, clubbing them on the head and hanging them off of meat hooks. So he's working through a lot.
Yeah.
He hides his emotions under the people he kills face that he wears.
He hides his emotions under someone else's face.
Maybe the person had a little emotions in their face and it's actually seeping into him with each face that he's putting on.
I really love the final scene in Leatherface when he's chasing the girl. And just flailing the chainsaw all over the goddamn place, and then she jumps in the truck.
Yeah,
the audio in that too, like that last shot where he's swinging the chainsaw around.
Yeah,
and you're getting that audio that's kind of whipping in and out.
Yeah, yeah.
The chainsaw is on a backswing.
Yeah,
that's and like the sun's coming up, and it's just it's such a fucked up because that whole last section of the movie is complete chaos. Like if you think about the dinner table scene onward out to the end, it's just screaming and chaos and like it's so frenetic that it's very like it causes anxiety. It causes you to be anxious when you watch it. Whereas when you're watching Michael or Jason, that stalking they do is very deliberate. So you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But with the third act of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's fucking pandemonium through the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're screaming, crying, everything's breaking, running, like it's nuts. People getting hit by cars.
You know what makes me more uncomfortable than any of that though is the part where God, I can't remember his name now, but the guy in the wheelchair is just
Franklin
yelling upstairs. He's like, like it's such an awkward scene to watch to me.
When he does that fake laugh.
Yeah.
God.
What do you think about the remakes, Wes, or like the?
I don't like. I think Texas 2 is a lot of fun. It plays like a black comedy, and it should because that was what Tobe Hooper was doing. I have a soft spot for Leatherface, which is Texas 3.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I like the guy that wrote the script. I think he had the right idea in mind. Over time, the Next Generation one, that sort of like, that grows on you. That remake with Jessica Biel is dog shit. Like it's,
shout out Justin Timberlake.
Drink.
That one's not good. And then they did the follow up with R. Lee Ermey that is supposed to be like a prequel that's not good. And then there was the one that was well intended, but it comes off like a fan fiction.
Yeah.
Which it's whatever. But this new one, I have a lot of faith in, and I think people will like and respect more. The one that's out currently.
I like that Jessica Biel one only for the fact that girl pulls a gun out of her vagina. And I just kept thinking, finally one I could actually fit in, you know?
I found my bride.
The other thing about Leatherface, from a guy that, again, is not a huge horror movie buff, is when I think of, Michael Myers, I don't, there's nothing that's out in the world that makes me think of Michael Myers. When I hear a freaking chainsaw start to go, you think about Leatherface. So the fact that he makes you think about those things just from a sound is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah. And to that point, I think that's where a chainsaw is so effective because instinctively you don't think about it, but when you hear a chainsaw fire up, there's tension.
You
don't know why, because damn well somebody's just cutting a fucking tree down.
But are they? Are they cutting off members of their family?
Exactly. So a chainsaw has it's this loud, aggressive sound that kind of makes your skin crawl.
Yeah.
So you take that, you couple it with a bunch of cannibals that live out in the middle of God knows where in Texas, who are cutting people up and butchering them with chainsaws. It just makes for it's the perfect storm of things that create fear.
Yeah.
Boner alert.
Shit. All right. Well, it's over to me now. Third pick of the draft, and I'm gonna go with my boy Fredward Krueger.
Damn it!
Krueger.
That was gonna be my pick.
So, which Freddy are we? Do you like Freddy from Nightmare 1, Dream Warriors, New Nightmare? Which one piques
from the Will Smith music video?
I love the Dream Warriors Freddy. Yeah. I love the wisecracking, the kind of fun-loving. He seems like if he didn't molest kids and have knives on his hands, he'd be a cool guy to hang out with,
That's a big if. Huge if.
Were he not a child predator?
If you change these two defining things about yourself, we can be friends.
Can you imagine him having to go door to door to let his neighbors know that he's a child molester?
He's just got that one glove on. You look like a lunatic now.
We need to make that skit.
Oh yeah,
that needs to be
that should happen.
That needs to be a Draft Pod exclusive.
Freddy adhering to Megan's law.
You saying that though, I actually, this is one that I love the evolution of Freddy, to extreme killer to the campiness, and then, what was it? Is it Dream Warriors, the one that the mental hospital?
Yeah,
that one.
That one's fucking great.
Yeah. I love the idea of the people fighting back and realizing that they can kind of have some kind of control over the dream and
And that's the one with the marionette, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also the same one where he eats the girl through the TV.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow!
Which is such a cool the visual is super cool.
Yeah. It's he eats her out.
No.
Squirts that bean a little bit.
Yep. He spits on it and slaps it.
Except he does it with his claw hand, so it makes a mess.
It's Freddy Krueger.
It's all your greatest hits from Pornhub, but with gore. I also like a New Nightmare because it has that I don't know, it's surreal, not surrealism, but
it's very meta, and I love that about it.
Yes, it's art imitating life, imitating art, and that's a smart concept.
That whole scene where he's explaining to Nancy or whatever that she he wrote in the script about her son what was it, being on like the playground or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, what the fuck? That just happened. Like,
yeah.
Like that whole like, I mean, oh my God, like Craven is a fucking genius, man.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yes. Man, dude, they're all dead.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them. Sean Cunningham, who made Friday the 13th, is still alive.
Oh, okay.
And
Carpenter. Yeah.
Carpenter's still around.
Yeah. He's just building tables and shit now. He's a real carpenter.
I went back to my literal roots.
Freddie to me is that, you know, I'm a comedian. I love laughing. And before, originally when I was just a young lad, like meaning in high school, I was completely horrified. Yeah. I was horrified of scary movies. So I didn't really have a lot of experience with them. And then once I realized that Freddy was pretty fun, that was kind of my first toe dip into the pool of horror. And now, you know, of course, as an adult, it doesn't scare me as much or at all. So,
well, you know, the funny thing about horror too is how many people. I'm always amazed at people that don't like to be scared.
Yeah, it's like.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. Andy's like, wait, where are you going with this? Because that's me.
I'm always amazed at how, like, I thought people liked that feeling.
Yeah.
Of, I like being scared. I like when, if a movie can get me, man, like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Well, I'll explain the other side of it.
It's a shot. Like it's a shot of adrenaline. You know, you like. It's like
exactly.
It's like a roller coaster. You're like, I might die, I might not, but I'm gonna do it.
and while it doesn't happen to me very often nowadays, if something catches me, I'm really like, you know, it's been several years, but when that movie Martyrs came out, that movie like didn't necessarily scare me, but it really fucked with me.
Yeah.
Like it's a very upsetting movie because it's so violent and so aggressive, and then has this miserable, glib, hopeless fucking ending that just like it sucks all the life force out of you. And like that, I don't know. I like that. I like shit being real quiet and then loud and scared the shit out of me. I enjoy it. But Andy, you got a different perspective on it, right?
I do. So I have, anybody that knows me knows that I have a very vivid imagination. Like I'm, you know, James has always said it. I was an idea guy, right?
Yeah.
Because like all these things will flash in my head. So the reason, and I think I'm getting better with it now after doing research the past couple days.
You just recently got over it.
Yeah, now that I'm 35. But the thing that really got me is, I would have some of the worst nightmares, like, because anything that I'll watch and stuff like that will creep into my dreams.
Yeah.
And so like the feeling of like just feeling like I was getting choked out by someone or like I was driving in a car, but like there was no way to stop the car. And then like as soon as the car hit, that's when I wake up because I don't think you can die in your dreams.
If you die in your dreams, you die in real life. Stay alive.
So awesome. Yeah. So every time I would put that on, like something like that would happen. So
yeah. And like that, and I think that's probably what gets people most of the time is they don't want that that helplessness. Like they don't want to feel helpless. They don't want to feel like, oh God, I'm sitting now watching this and it's not real, but I feel like I should jump up and fix this because someone's about to die and I'm supposed to intervene with this.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's where people don't, it's that lack of control. It's the same thing that stops people from like using hard drugs, I would assume, or, you know, common sense and like years of fucking education should have taught you that. But like, but yet there are plenty of people that are like fucking hammering that heroin into my veins. There's still people doing it. And it's not, it's and I'm not like equating drug use to that, but like it's the same thing that prevents people from doing that. They don't like the lack of control over the situation.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Fear is a lack of control.
Yeah, because I was James knows, I was like one of the biggest anti-drug guys for the longest time. Like not even like marijuana, you know? Like,
yeah.
And all of a sudden, like now, like I'm totally cool with all of it and all that stuff. But for whatever reason, growing up, I was like, you know, anti. And I had friends that would do something and they didn't even want to tell me because they knew I'd get pissed off at them.
I was actually the same way. Like I know like people would purposely not tell me that but like I had like issues with, you know, people close to me having issues, so that's why like I was very anti. Yeah. But now I like, you know, like now
you're on heroin, so it's all good.
Yeah, because because horror movies are a gateway.
I remember I used to live with two of my buddies, and Andy would come over for parties and stuff back in the day. This was like 2003, 2004, and I remember being in the backyard smoking a joint with these other guys. And Andy came out, and I had the joint like in my hand, about to touch my lips, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry, man." Like I felt so fucking bad that I'm smoking a joint, and Andy fucking caught me.
It's so funny though to think in that context of like it's like he walked in on you fucking his girl.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, Andy's like, "Don't you remember the dead duck scenario? I'm the chicken, and now you're going to be a dead duck." That was your corkscrew, dick.
Ducks rape people. Or other ducks.
They don't.
Yeah.
Oh, they rape people too.
A great scary movie. Right?
Rape duck?
Yeah. How was the rape duck?
Fucking rape duck. God, that's the best.
Oh my God. You know what I just heard like that. Remember how in the 80s, like, horror movies had like the different voiceover guy?
Yeah.
Like it was always like, like every other movie had the same guy. This one, like horror movies for some reason always got that other guy. But I just heard that in my head, like, come in October. Rape duck. Who will?
This is crazy. We are just hitting pick number 4.
Yeah.
Which I will mention. We're doing a quickie style draft because there's 4 of us.
We're doing five picks.
Yeah. 5 with honorable mentions. And I know you guys were clowning on the dude a little bit, but if we're talking horror movies, what's the main thing in horror movies? Kills, right?
Yeah.
I got to take the dude with the most kills. Jason has 146 kills, I saw.
Quantity over quality, baby.
I didn't even realize you haven't picked it yet. I already marked it off because I thought you had. When you said the 4th, I'm like, wait, we're on the 5th.
I am very like pro. I will say, I am very pro Jason. Of the franchises with too many sequels, my heart has always been with Friday the 13th. If we're gonna go with franchises who jumped the shark, walked back around it and jumped it another 6 times, Jason's my guy, dude. I love Friday the 13th, man. It's simple. It's if you've got Jason, if you got a fucking hockey mask, if you've got drunk co-eds, the woods, and they're dying, I'm in, man. People fucking getting murdered. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Or even in the inner city.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Jason in New York. Oh God.
Walking the streets of New York.
So fucking funny. That's like one of the funniest movies of all time.
Dude,
that's going to be in my comedy draft.
When he approaches that gang, oh my God. Dude, like that shit is so funny to me.
The boxing scene is still the best. For those who haven't seen it, seek it out. The one kid is a amateur boxer and he's doing all his best and he ends up wearing himself out trying to punch Jason. And then Jason, with one hit, clean decapitation, head goes flying off the building, down down into a trash can. It's beautiful.
It's such a Vince McMahon thing, and I think that's why Drew and I are automatically attracted to it because it's like one punch and his head's gone.
and his version of the Kane mask.
It is.
That mask is so iconic, and that's another reason Jason moves up the board. Is you have so many people that kind of had that same look. Like, people have put that look out there. Your boy from the Ninja Turtles,
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones. You got
just hockey players in general, the Mighty Ducks. I'll tell you what. Freddy vs. Jason is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
So fun.
Dude, it's so good. And anybody with an issue with that needs to really step back and look at what they're bitching about. You got everything you wanted in that movie.
I know, it's so great.
Yes. Everything you wanted.
Yeah.
God.
That scene where like
did you get titties?
Oh, there's titties, my
titties?
friend. Hell yeah.
That scene where Freddy gets mad because Jason stole his kill, like that turning point is so good. He was just hilarious. Like, what the fuck?
And when the chick from Destiny's Child,
Kelly Rowland,
Kelly Rowland,
that promo. Oh my god, dude, it is so good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you.
Just got another idea. So here's my other idea: an Avengers style movie with some of these characters.
They've been pitching that in Hollywood for years, man.
Oh, really?
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, they've been trying to get that made for years.
That'd be such a great idea.
That'd be sick if our first four were like the Fantastic Four, because the other one sucks, so you don't need it. So just steal the name.
That would have been like a way better Suicide Squad.
Actually, I'm gonna write this down to send it to you, Andy, and I'll just tweet it. I just sent these guys a video like a few weeks ago, and it was Justice League versus the like monsters, and it was it's a cool like somebody like chopped up scenes and made it look like an actual trailer, but it's like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's badass. So like you would get Freddy versus Batman.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's amazing.
All right. Yeah. Jason Voorhees, man. Also, that Friday the 13th game is fucking badass. It's fun.
Yeah, all I've heard is how great it is.
Yeah. I mean, it was really glitchy in the beginning, and people were complaining about it. But they fixed the glitches, and it's fucking fun ass game. And it's like you get
That's great, man.
You get that every time he's like around you, and it's like
it's so great.
It actually gives you a sense of fear running away from him and trying to survive. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about like that, and even Michael Myers, like the sound cues of just that. Yeah, like you're like, oh shit, like like you might be relaxed, and once you hear that, you just start to tense up. Well, a lot like the chainsaw, like you just hear that, and it just like you're like, oh god, what's gonna happen?
Right, right.
The music's so damn important too. Like horror movie music.
Oh, it's if you watch horror movies. If you watch some of the better ones, the more recent ones, I don't know if you guys have watched the movie The Witch, but with The Witch, because it's such a slow burning film with atmosphere built into it, and it relies so heavily on that, the music, the score, everything is helping keep that move along, because it's not this fast paced people getting their fucking heads punched off of their body.
Yeah.
So you need that. You need that to carry it.
You know one that I just in the what I can think of in the last couple years that sticks out is "Drag Me to Hell."
Oh god,
that there you go. Yeah,
so good.
Is that the one with Kane?
No, that's See No Evil.
See No Evil. I love that movie.
Sounds like Cena, which is kind of funny.
Drag Me to Hell is
Sam Raimi.
Yeah, Sam Raimi, but Justin Long and fucking Rogue, right? Wasn't she in it?
Maybe?
No, not Anna Paquin.
Maybe?
No.
That was a chick that looks like her, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, she gets a curse put on her, but man, the music was so good. And I tell you what, we watched that the first time in a movie theater, and we had a there were people behind us that were really loud and like
Yeah.
really like just like, but it heightened everything so much. But being in a movie theater with that, when that like all of a sudden you just like you were like, holy shit, like it was
so loud,
so
loud.
But yeah, he like jacked the score up on that. He's like, no, let's push it up one more.
The actress's name is Alison Lohman.
Oh, Alison Lohman. But
Okay.
that scene, the seance scene where they're like,
that's the best. That's as far as audio goes, the way they had everything shooting around the room, and they made you feel like you were in that fucking room while that goat was being.
Well, if you think about the first Insidious movie.
Oh god!
There's two shots in that where the sound is also building.
Let's hold off on that one, maybe.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that.
This next pick is going to be super insidious. I don't know if I'm using that word right. But I got to go with my dude who, like, I loved him because just the pictures of him were awesome as a kid. And for whatever reason, I was always cool with him, even though I was not, like, a scary movie thing, but I got to go with my little dude, Chucky.
Oh, sure.
Okay,
sure.
Chucky.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, I actually...
Like, something about, like, a doll just going crazy and, like, when his head spins around and shit like that. Like, I like the idea of this, like, little doll, this inanimate object, and just going nuts, you know?
Becoming animate.
Yeah.
Yeah, becoming animated.
We went to this haunted house last night that's on a old warship that's been like decommissioned or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was fucking awesome. Chamber of Terror, shout out to them. Great job, guys. I don't know, they'll never hear this, but either way.
We'll tweet at them.
on the way back, you know, me and Abby are talking, like, me and my wife, about let's watch a horror movie tonight. We get home and I'm on Netflix and that new Cult of Chucky movie.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
I thought it was fun. Yeah, I thought it was kind of. We didn't finish it, but what I saw, I thought it was fun and nice.
It is. It's an entertaining movie.
Yeah. So, Chucky, man, I love Chucky.
Yeah. And I'm a Bucks fan, and John Gruden had like a Chucky
there you
thing
go.
going on for a while. So, it made me love Chucky even more because that's when the Bucks won a Super Bowl. Was when they were doing that whole Chucky doll thing with Gruden.
I just gotta say, shout out Catherine Hicks. I loved you in Seventh Heaven. She was in the first one.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
You know, shout out to Seventh Heaven, who also had Jessica Biel, who's now married to the greatest man alive, Justin Timberlake. What's up?
Drink.
Got a big JT mark, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we've got a little drinking game here on the podcast. So anytime Andy mentions JT, you take a drink. Anytime James mentions Howard Stern, take a drink. And anytime I mention wrestling, you take a drink.
Oh yeah.
You're
just setting people up for alcohol poisoning, guys.
Yeah. Yeah,
Gateway Pod.
Even
that's why our listeners keep dropping off. They're just fucking dying. Liver failure.
I can't listen to this fucking podcast anymore. I got a problem.
Fucking my family up, dude.
The Draft Pod is a horror character itself. We're just fucking killing our fans.
I lost my home. I lost my job.
But I love this podcast. That reminds me when I was just in New York City a couple weeks ago, and there was a homeless guy on one of the corners. He had an iPhone and a dog, and my first thought was, he's not doing too bad.
Nah, he's all right. He's all right. Yeah. Wait. Which iPhone did he have?
Well, yeah, it was probably a 6 because it wasn't like the smaller. So,
motherfucker.
Yeah.
How was he paying for service?
I don't know. Maybe just everybody like, oh, cute dog. Here's $1.
Metro PCS, baby.
Yeah.
When I was
in the city.
When I was a kid, you know, I was surrounded by like action figures. I had like my whole room was just dolls, you know, like boys dolls, maybe a few Barbies, but who knows? But either way, I remember the first movie that really scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. it might get mentioned, so I won't say it. But the second movie was a movie that I don't even know the title of it. I happened to see it. I stayed home sick from school one day, and I was at my grandma's house, and my grandma was watching this fucking movie, and it was this fucking puppet. It wasn't Puppet Master, but it was a guy who had a puppet, and the puppet, like, he talked to the puppet, and the puppet would tell him to kill people.
Are you talking about the one with Anthony Hopkins in it?
It might be. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. But
Muppets 3D.
Yes, that's it. Oh my God.
Chipmunks, Alvin and the Chipmunks 3.
Yeah.
But either way,
actually,
like the
that
idea,
sounds awesome.
the idea of a puppet or a doll coming to life and fucking killing people was really something that frightened me until Toy Story came out and made everything okay.
Yeah. Well, it did,
I got you.
it did reset that clock because they've used that concept for years, man.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone had it. Twilight Zone had an episode.
That's true. The Talking Tina.
Yeah. Talking Tina. You have I can't think of the name of that fucking movie with Anthony Hopkins where he's the ventriloquist.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it called The Ventriloquist?
It's something like it is something real specific or real like on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, fucking, everything that from like the Puppet Master movies to Chucky, like that happens so much.
Yeah.
We just finished that series Lore, based on the Lore podcast.
Okay.
And they covered the Robert doll. Are you guys familiar with Robert?
No.
Oh man, I don't want to ruin it for you. Watch that show. If you have Amazon Prime, please watch Lore. You will not be disappointed.
All right.
Even
Is this it?
That's it.
Yes,
that's
it.
That's the movie.
Magic.
Oh my God, that's fun. I'm gonna watch that fucking movie after
it's
this.
actually
So fucking good.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
It's actually, the concept is still kind of out there with like Annabelle, like.
Oh yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But wasn't there a thing with Child's Play 3? Didn't it have like a crow thing where like one of the guys got killed?
Somebody died in it?
Yep.
Because he was
the third one?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, because it was the little kid as a grown. He was like at boot camp or something, right?
That sounds right.
Yeah, and I think there was the same issue where somebody like loaded it with a real bullet instead of blanks, and like somebody ended up getting shot like on the set.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking A, see? Chucky's killing
So
people
is that
in
your
real
next
life.
pick? Was that your pick, James?
No, that was yours.
No, that was yours. We're still talking
That was
about
yours.
you.
Oh,
You picked-
Yeah.
well, I picked Chucky. I was talking about the Magic movie.
Oh no. No, we're bringing
Okay.
it back. We're bringing it back to Chucky and Child's Play. So
Okay, yeah.
not
That
to
little
be.
dude had such an iconic outfit too. That's another one. That,
Oh.
like,
Yeah.
we actually wore that as kids. You know,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was just talking
You know what I'm
about
saying?
on our Halloween episode how that sexy Chucky costume really turns me on. I don't know why, but it does.
Only if it's on a dude and the shorts are a little short and the dude's packing and it's just kind of hanging out the bottom of the. Yeah, I got you.
Showing a little neck.
You're just getting a little taste of the hog, not the whole thing, just a little bit.
Just a tip.
Well,
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and go to my next pick here. And we kind of just teased Insidious. I figure I'm going to take it now because I really want it. And The Woman in the Black Dress.
Yeah,
From
man.
Insidious.
She's fucking awful.
Yeah.
The old
She gives
woman.
me the willies.
The old,
I don't even know what that is.
Oh,
You
Oh
guys
my-
want to do a real life scare right now? One of you pull up the picture and put it up so I can see what it looks like.
yeah.
I got it right
out
here.
of my mind.
Someone bring her up for him.
Yeah. Okay. Question: is the other guy still available?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
I like this thing.
And, yeah, any characters are still available.
All right.
And the other guy's fucking scary as fuck too. I agree. But
Yeah, satanic Darth Maul.
yeah, yes. Yeah. I always thought, even when Phantom Menace first came out, I'm like, Darth Maul is scary as fuck, dude.
Ugly motherfucker.
Yeah. But this Woman in the Black Dress, dude, I remember I went to see Insidious, and that's the first movie in a long time that fucking scared me. It was so goddamn good.
Oh!
And,
What the fuck?
Andy,
Oh my god!
Well,
what is that?
it's the Woman in the
Her
Black Dress.
eyebrows
Yeah.
need some major contouring.
Holy shit!
And I won't go into any spoilers from Insidious 2, but just Insidious 1.
Wow.
We'll go with Woman in the Black Dress, and the scenes where they're going through the pictures and they have her in the background of every picture from when he was a kid. She's just attached to herself to him, and then
that's you know what's funny about Insidious is the first one. I loved it. I thought it was so good. And it was almost they were like, man, we did something good with that first one. Why don't we take the second one and just ham fist some bullshit into it and ruin our own legacy? And then they're like, fuck it, let's make a third one, man. Let's shit the bed entirely.
I'm good. Andy pulled up a picture of Elmo to calm himself down.
The woman in the black. That lady is legit scary looking though.
Yeah,
she's gives me the willies. I like her.
Yeah. Insidious in general, the whole movie, just going into, what do they call it? The Beyond or something, or?
I believe so. Yeah, something like that.
But that whole experience in the movie, and then just them being haunted, that there's the scene where, it's the woman and I think she's in her bedroom and there's the baby's crib there next to them. Yeah. Next to their bed. Yeah. And she's just standing there, and all of a sudden you see this fucking dude pacing in the window outside on the balcony. Yeah. And he takes 3 passes and then comes back, and all of a sudden he's in the fucking room. It scared the fuck out of me. I think about that.
Did you guys see the new It?
Yeah.
They use this. I love that they use that same element where he's like, no.
He's like, nope.
Absolutely not. I love how they put him into the historical lineage of the town. And the places that he's built into photos. Oh, I fucking love that, man.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, that's what was like. That scene was actually really cool from the original. Is when they're looking through the pictures and they stop at that one, and he's just walking his way through the picture. Oh my god! Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but something about women characters in horror movies, as the actual bad person or whatever, that scares me way more than the dudes. Any of the dudes that we drafted at the top is not really scary looking or anything like that. It's about what they're doing.
Yeah. Yep.
What you just showed me, shit like that with the ladies for whatever reason. Maybe it's because their hair, their makeup. I don't know. That scares me way more. If I'm talking about single images.
Well, I'm gonna
There's a movie from. Sorry, James. There's a movie from a couple years ago called Mama. That is.
Mama. Yeah.
Also with Tyler Perry.
It has. That has, arguably one of the scariest. I think female.
Yeah, I like it.
Monsters that I think they've ever put in a horror movie.
Yeah, I love the idea
I'm
of
writing that down to not watch.
Mama's about these.
He's doing the
not watch.
He's got
the avoid list.
Things to avoid on Netflix.
He's got a not watch list on his iPhone.
Oh shit! That's fucking funny. Well. I think we can go over to Wes's next pick.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So my second pick is I think and I thought this is probably how the first round would go moving into the second round, that we knock out the heavy hitters first, but we've got to go back to the roots.
Yeah.
You got to go back to where it all started from. You can't listen to Green Day if you didn't listen to the Ramones, that sort of philosophy. So, my number 2 is my favorite of all of the Universal monsters, the Wolfman.
Wolfman.
I think the Wolfman is the most, is the most relatable to actual humans, because he's the concept of a tortured soul.
Exactly.
He doesn't want to be what he is. He doesn't want to be a monster. And the monster can come in a lot of forms. For him, it's this turning into this werewolf. But we think about, you think about anybody that has, a drug addiction. There are a serial killer, whatever.
Yeah.
The concept of like, I have this monster inside of me and I hate it and I want it out.
That one?
No, but I do have a soft spot for that one.
Okay. I haven't heard of this, so I'm looking it up right now.
The original Wolfman, though, is one of it's probably my favorite of all monster movies.
Who played Wolfman in the original? Was it Lon Chaney?
Lon Chaney?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was Lon Chaney.
Lon Chaney, yeah.
Yeah, he did like everything.
Yes, and that transformation, if you think about when that movie was made and they did that transformation scene of him from the man into the wolf, it's pretty fucking groundbreaking shit for
the 1930s.
For the time that it came. Yeah.
For sure.
I love it. I love the acting in it. I love that cane that he buys at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like I like all of the symbolism in it. It's the Wolfman, I think, is the guy that's most closely attached to my heart, and that's not just due to body hair.
I would. I think it'd be safe for me to say that I think werewolves in general are probably my favorite, like, original monster. You know, just
absolutely, man.
Like Silver Bullet, American Werewolf in London, American Werewolf in Paris, fucking
Dog Soldiers. Oh my god,
Dog Soldiers was good, man.
Dog Soldiers,
fucking A, man, it's so good. What a cool concept for Ginger Snaps. Those movies, which are both like it's a werewolf movie and it's it's this pro-feminist horror film. It's fucking awesome. I love werewolves. I think they're. There's something about the idea that it's this monster, and they did a good job. As weird as this is going to sound, they did a good job in the Harry Potter movies with Professor Lupin. Who's a werewolf?
Yeah,
and he had throughout that movie, he visibly looks more and more tattered, more and more exhausted, and it's them kind of saying like, "Look, I don't fucking want this." What do you got? Oh, look!
My sister got me this. It's like it's a werewolf rug.
I love that.
Like they skin the fucking werewolf. This bitch is bad as fuck.
Dude, I love. How about The Howling?
The Howling. Yeah. Oh yes.
The
whole
Howling?
series.
Oh, I love those movies, man.
Fucking A,
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'd say about this? I was just kind of looking up some pictures and stuff like that. It's almost like it has to be a better movie. There's no like graphics and crazy things going on. It's just like an old movie, black and white. The script has to be on point. The acting has to be good.
Yes.
Because you can't hide anything with movie tactics and that like they do nowadays. It's just a raw movie. It looks like
that's kind of
and it's what makes those movies. The acting, the atmosphere, it does all of the work for them. If you watch those original Dracula movies, Dracula is not the most interesting character on the planet, but the way those actors present that material, the way the stories are set up, that 90% of the work is in the acting. It's not the case anymore.
Let me just go ahead and let's work into this, because since you went there, I'm going to pick that up with Bela Lugosi's Dracula as my pick.
Yeah, very very good.
And what makes this movie so, like, it's funny that we talked about how important music is. That was in a time that they barely got words onto the screen.
Absolutely.
So they didn't. There's no score in that movie. So it's fucking eerie as hell because it's dead silent unless somebody's talking.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I love about that Dracula movie is it's so good like that.
Look at Nosferatu.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen was really good.
If you look at Nosferatu, the silent film, German silent German,
yeah, Max Schreck.
It's so cringeworthy. Like you're watching it, it makes you uncomfortable because there's no sound,
right?
There's no audio.
Yeah,
it's just this horrible looking man who's about to do something very sinister, and that slow build up into that over an unsuspecting victim. Oh, it's fucking great, man. The work that those actors had to put in to sell that idea is often overlooked nowadays.
It's much like, and go ahead and take a drink, everybody. In wrestling, they always say that with like the the Mexican luchadors, because they wear a mask. They have to work so much harder to convey pain and like everything else. So like somebody like Rey Mysterio Jr., who could pull that off and like sell pain in a mask, like you're that much better as a wrestler because you do it with your body and everything else. So, like I completely agree with that as far as like trying to get over this thing without saying words.
Yeah.
Well,
if you look at El Santo, who became like literally is a Mexican cultural figure now, who was a luchador, who went on to be this actor in all of these monster movies where he was like this action hero, but he spent his entire life in that fucking mask.
Yeah.
Like having to convey that emotion with his face completely, every piece of his face that would convey emotion was covered.
Yeah.
It's fucking fascinating.
That's awesome.
Now I'm debating if I should have went with Count Orlok. But I'm sticking with it. I'll stick with Dracula.
Did you put Gangrel on there?
Yeah. Well, and that's another, and a lot like the Wolfman, like just vampires in general are like, they're awesome. And that's, as of recently, like the True Blood show, like I remember that middle chunk of the show where they just got away from, I'm like, show me the fucking vampires. And then like the final 2 seasons, they got back to like Eric and Bill, like those guys being badasses. And that's what I love. Like I want to see, like you watch it for the vampires. Like,
I have a theory on True Blood, that middle section of that series, where they would be sitting in the writer's room just going, oh, guys, what are we doing? we have painted ourselves into a corner, and there is no way of getting out without getting paint all over us. Yeah. So fucked.
So they owned it.
Yeah.
Just fucking throw fairies in there. I don't know.
Yeah, were-panthers. What the fuck's a were-panther?
Yeah,
it's like a werewolf.
Were-panther. What is that?
Cat.
It's a were-cat. Just fucking write it.
So I don't know, vampire Dracula in general.
I'm all in on that. Yeah.
Speaking of,
to be clear, Leslie Nielsen is included.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Dracula Dead Loving It is actually one of my favorite movies ever. But
what was
Saturday the 14th? Can we can't leave that one out if we're talking about funny vampires.
People might poo-poo this, but I love the idea of Dracula 2000 with like tying it into like Judas as the original vampire. Like I thought that was a
Wes Craven movie, right?
A really cool.
And
take.
I like that you said the idea, because the concept and the execution were two vastly different things. Yeah. But conceptually, it was fucking excellent. Yeah. Like that idea, like goddamn Judas was a vampire.
Yeah.
Great idea.
And like
they start filming, total diarrhea.
Yeah, like the whole idea of like, because like, vampires hate silver, and like he got paid like the 30 pieces of silver, like that's why he has that, like that's why they can't stand silver. Like I just thought those little nuance, like you said, in the idea and the concept was really fun. Yeah. But the movie was dog shit.
Oh, not good. Not good.
Yeah. Speaking of like, these older movies having to have like a well-directed, well-written script, well-acted movie to convey, it makes you appreciate when a horror movie, like horror movies are like a dime a million, it's like,
absolutely. So yeah.
It's hard to weed out the good ones, but every now and then you'll get like an It Follows, like a movie that's just an amazing fucking story, and you're just like, fuck, that's insane. Like,
so here's something I'm going to tell you in terms of like It Follows, because that's a good example.
Yeah.
There was a really good batch of movies a couple years ago, and It Follows tends to be the standout, and The Babadook is the other.
Yeah. Babadook was good.
There were some really fucking smart horror films that came out right around that time. There's a movie called Spring, which in my opinion was the better movie of that phase. Yeah. Because it's this love story set in these gorgeous villas in Italy, but it's a fucking monster movie.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's like Woody Allen meets horror.
Yeah, and it's genius. It is so well executed, and it's still gross and fucked up because it's this monster that can't stop its impulse, but he's still in love with her. And then there's a movie called Starry Eyes, which now with the whole Harvey Weinstein thing has unfortunately, like, it's proof that, like, look, people have been trying to tell you for a long time that the Hollywood execs and the elitists up top are real fucking monsters.
That's what's funny is the guy at work just said that. He's like, isn't that how Hollywood's worked forever? Like, why is this new?
Dude, it has a history of, and the thing is, like, people have been trying to, like, fucking Guillermo del Toro back in 2003 went on a tangent about the Weinsteins and said horrible shit about Harvey. Was like, that motherfucker is the reason I don't ever want to work in America again because of Harvey Weinstein. Like, all of these fucking red flags were popping up. But Starry Eyes is another one. It's a movie called Cheap Thrills, which is unbelievably good.
Oh.
Ethan Embry's in it. Oh my God, what a good
I love it.
Is that the one with David Koechner? Or,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that is insane.
I'm writing all these down.
Fucked
I haven't heard of any of these, but I'm gonna look them
Yeah,
up.
Cheap Thrills is fucking crazy.
And another movie, I'm sure a lot of people heard about Green Room because of Patrick Stewart's involvement in it.
Yeah.
The movie they did before that, Blue Ruin, is fucking lights out good. It is this bleak, black, miserable black comedy horror film. It's so good.
You
guys, Wes is dropping some fucking knowledge right now. You put that in your brain if you're a horror fan.
That's why we wanted him on here.
I hope these guys that did Blue Ruin and Green Room just keep doing that, like a color and then just a random word just for the rest of their career.
I've had that same conversation with somebody that I want all of their movie titles to have a color.
Don't look up Blue Waffle, everybody. Just don't do it.
You saying
That's
that
a horror.
you saying that, I just want to tie in your last pick and then what you said about the movie that took place in the villa or whatever.
Yeah.
Brotherhood of the Wolf is one of my favorite fucking movies of all time.
Underrated, man. Underrated.
Yeah.
It's a grossly overlooked movie.
Yeah, and it's not like, Andy, I think you'd enjoy it. It's not really all that horror. Like, it's
like the dude's version of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly like it. Exactly like it.
I'm in.
Except it's one of those sweatshirts with wolves on it you'd buy at a truck stop.
Hell yeah!
If you combine those
Brotherhood of the Plaid Button-Ups.
Oh shit. Well, let's since we're talking werewolves again, and a lot of times shapeshifters get put into that thing.
Woo!
So I'm gonna go with thing we've already fucking dropped it. Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I figured. Wait, hold up. We'll try to put this one together. Did you just segue werewolf into Pennywise the clown?
Yeah.
He's a
shapeshifter.
Pennywise is actually a shapeshifter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For those like Andy who's never seen the movie.
Actually, I'm going to throw this to you guys because this is the conversation I had with my son after we saw the movie.
Yeah.
Pennywise is not a shapeshifter. He's not a being. Pennywise is a concept.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pennywise is the embodiment of their fears. And to stand up to in the face of their fears, what does Pennywise do? He backs away.
Yeah, backs away.
He can't destroy them if they don't fear him.
Yeah.
Their fears can't destroy them. So mine has always been that Pennywise is a concept. He is the embodiment of their fears.
Yeah.
And if they don't let fears get them, then they're not letting Pennywise get them, who becomes all of their fears.
Yeah.
Everything they fear, he becomes that.
Yeah. It's actually it's almost like a self-help movie. Like, hey,
it is.
Like if, you have this fear of water, like just jump in the deep end, kind of thing. Like just conquer it and you're going to, do it. So.
Did you ever see
that? If you have a fear of water, watch Jaws.
Did you guys ever see that movie? Did you guys ever see that movie Event Horizon?
Yes.
I used to love that fucking movie. That movie scared the fuck out of me the first time I saw it, but That's another
it's still, by the way.
Huh?
It's still good, by the way.
Is it? Yeah, holds up.
It's still good. Yeah.
All right. I should watch it again. But yeah, that was one of those movies that same type of deal where it relies on your fears to,
yes,
to conquer you.
Yeah.
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 But anyways.
So Pennywise is a damn good pick, guys.
Pennywise
Drew went with Pennywise. All right.
Plus, it's relevant as shit.
The band?
The band. Yes, the bro punk band Pennywise.
So what do you think about the new dude, Bill Skarsgård versus Tim Curry?
I didn't mind it.
I liked them both.
Yeah.
I think he did a good job. I think we're big nostalgia whores, our generation.
Yeah.
And we get too wrapped up in making sacred cows of all the things we love.
Yeah.
Instead of just going like, it's not for me. And,
Yeah.
I think what Bill Skarsgård did was he took the concept of Pennywise as it was presented to him and made it his own,
right.
which is exactly what Tim Curry did.
Yeah. Exactly.
He took the concept of Pennywise as it was presented to him, and he made it how Tim Curry would do it.
Yeah.
So both are great. Both have merit. I don't think one's any scarier than the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think they both represent the best of truthfully, they both represent the best of Stephen King's writing.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna love this tie-in. This is
all right.
All right, you go, Drew. I'll
well, I was just gonna add to it. Like, I've heard complaints that like, he's so much more sarcastic in the book and all this kind of stuff. But if you watch the first one as a kid, and when they're kids, he's not he is fucking he's mean. It's when they're adults and they're on his level. That's when he gets sarcastic.
Yeah.
Like that whole scene in the library where he's like, ba, 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 Billy. And then he's got the,
because they gave in.
Yeah.
Yes, because all those years later, they gave back into their fears as adults.
Yeah.
And he could mock them because he could go, look at you. Look what you did to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I think, it's already, chapter 2 is obviously coming. And,
yes.
That's when he's gonna get a little bit like his I believe that's what it's supposed to be. The first one, he's just supposed to be evil. The second one is, and people will be like, oh, now they're just overcompensating, but that's not how,
that's when Pennywise is finally like, well, now you can understand my references.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This tie-in is going to be super weird, but I think you guys will enjoy this. You mentioned something that really struck a chord with me about how we can't appreciate kind of the now because we're so like nostalgic whores. Yeah. So I reference this to like a basketball even where you have a Michael Jordan, which is this thing that can't be touched. And then all of a sudden you have a LeBron.
Yes.
And people will never say LeBron even in the conversation because they're so one track minded and they're not opening their mind up. And just because they're different doesn't make any one of the two better than the other necessarily.
Yeah, right.
It's just open up your mind and appreciate what is now, and you can still appreciate what that was and still have a fondness for it while also appreciating what's happening right now.
Yeah, and
I agree completely.
Everybody says like, they don't want to become their fathers or like that thing. But in a way, like we all become that because like I look at like I work with a bunch of older people and they're like, even like, they're no fucking Montana and like all this stuff, where, as like they're talking like their generations even before that, like there's no fucking Staubach. Like it's like, it's like we're coming into that because when we were kid and when we were watching Heavy, it was the Jordan.
Yeah.
But like the people before them were like, well, Jordan was no Dr. J. And like, so like, it's just like that. It's all the cycle. And that's actually like, Andy,
you guys all know that with wrestling too.
Yeah.
People will not let go of the Attitude Era. Right now is the literal golden age of that art form. Yeah. It has never been better than it is now. Ever.
Not as stacked, certainly.
No, not even like just the sheer volume of options you have, of styles, of presentation. AJ. Like It's never been this good. It's never been like this, and yet you have these guys that are going, "Oh, the Attitude Era was better." Why? Like a small, a fraction of the Attitude Era is good. Mm-hmm. The rest of it is racist, misogynistic. Not good wrestling.
Yeah.
It's not good wrestling. You mean to tell me like all of Monday Night Raw was good? No. Austin,
just like
The Rock.
Was.
Yes.
Dude, it's hard to watch. Like, you watch some of that stuff and you're like, wow, that is fucking rapey. Like it is insane.
Awful.
Sounds like all my favorite stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, really, what's interesting about it is it's the same character, it's the same look, it's maybe a little updated, and it's paying homage to something while creating something brand new.
Yeah, and if you look at the kids, that's going to be the big clinch pin for the second chapter of It.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What made the TV movie not work was the second half. Yeah. The kids in the original are great. The kids in this one, the kids in this new one are lights out good. Yeah. And so whatever adult actors they hire have to be on point.
I don't know, man.
It's going to be hard. I'm really concerned about it.
I think John Boy killed it.
That's a murder joke, isn't it?
No, John, the kid from the Waltons was the main character.
Yeah. Andy, I think you should give it a try just because it's really not a scary movie. It's like if you like a movie like Goonies or like Super 8 or Stranger Things. It's a kids.
None of them feature clowns.
Yeah, well, but it's a kids adventure movie, and it's more that than it is a horror movie. And I think that you would really like it.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
everything that James just dropped. Yeah. Everything that James referenced is a perfect analogy for it.
Speaking of that, Andy, that's why this makes it a killer pick. Is the fact that Pennywise just struck fear into people's kids who watched that movie were just like, all right, well, I'm done with clowns.
It actually ruined the career of clowns.
I loved Bozo. But I couldn't watch
Bozo got canceled because of that shit.
Like I would watch it on WGN. They did the little, ball toss thing. Yeah. I love that stuff. Yeah. And then Pennywise fucked it up for me.
My sister-in-law, when she was a kid, her nickname was Wheezy. And
from the Jeffersons.
Yeah, exactly like that. And so when she watched that movie and she heard Pennywise say, "Hey, yo, Wheezy," she was like, "I'm done." She's like she hates clowns. I'll just send her a picture every once in a while of just a clown. She would just be like, I fucking hate you.
All right.
So, who's up?
We got Wes.
Wes back.
Fuckface.
All right. My brother has been trying to convince me for years to get the tattoo of the smiling Oriole bird holding a bat, and it says "fuckface" on the bottom of it.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That'd be fantastic.
And I can tell you, Andy, I have a lot of really poorly thought out, stupid tattoos because I don't care. Right. So that tattoo is not out of the realm of possibility.
Okay. I would love that. That would be amazing.
So my pick. My next pick was chosen because of what he represents culturally, what he represents in the tide change in horror movies when it came out. My choice is Ben from Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, okay.
Ben is the protagonist. Ben is a black man in a white world.
Yeah.
Who is trapped in a home as the impending zombie invasion approaches. Ben is the one man thinking clear-headed enough towards survival.
Yeah.
And he knows he's trying to save a bunch of people who A, fear him, B, loathe him, and C, will turn their back on him at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
And we see that, unfortunately, with the end of Night of the Living Dead, if George Romero was telling us anything, it was that, look, as many steps as we take forward, we're going to take 5 back. And we're seeing that now, unfortunately. Yeah. What we saw in that movie in the 60s in Night of the Living Dead is still very relevant today. If you think racism is dead, you aren't paying attention to a fucking thing. And they've been trying to tell you that through movies for a long fucking time.
Did he survive?
No. The police shoot him in the fucking head.
So he's the start of that whole black people die in scary movies.
He's up there, yeah. Well, he's actually,
but he also dies in like the last 5 minutes. So
he's also shot by cops.
It makes it a long time.
He's shot by the police. Yeah.
Fucking cops.
He's shot by the police, and of course the pitchforks and torches townspeople.
Yeah.
And he's not a zombie.
So dare I say, he's the Jackie Robinson of horror movies?
a little bit, yeah.
But that's huge. Like the fact that that was what, 68, right? Like,
I believe so. Yeah,
I mean, so that's like the height of water hoses getting turned on people and everything else. Like that is huge. Like what that did for everything.
And we're talking about a movie that existed before the Summer of Love.
Yeah.
So this movie very much represents, the height of civil rights happening in the South.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like Ben is like one of the best parts about Ben when you go back and watch Night of the Living Dead is he's a very practical guy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the way he conveys that character through the whole movie. Ben can look at these people and know, these people don't give a fuck about me.
Yeah.
These people don't care if I live or die. They see me as a second-class citizen, but now that they need me, guess what? I'm all they've got. And he, there's that resent in him, but he doesn't have enough time to worry about being resentful.
Yeah.
And, it's one of the, I think it's the most, in my opinion, it is the most underrated performance in a horror movie just based on how relevant it maintained throughout history.
It's funny.
So shout out to this dude, Dwayne Jones, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Made it to 1988. Yep. He didn't have many movies, which is insane because I've actually heard of Ben from Night of the Living Dead before. I just had to pull it up though. He was only in less than 10 movies, which is insane based on probably how well he acted this one.
Yeah, and he was, if I remember right, I believe he was a Pittsburgh stage actor. I think that's where Romero found him. A lot of these guys, I think, were theater actors.
It's funny. It's much like I consider myself somebody who loves movies and knows a good amount about movies, but I've never seen The Godfather.
Sure. I get you. Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead, I think, is one of those movies. If you talk to somebody who loves horror, it'd be in their top 5, top 10, always. And I've never seen Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah. It's not. That's one that's not uncommon too. What's funny is that's in my top 3 favorite. My favorite films of all time are Texas, Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, and Night of the Living Dead. And
I'm gonna watch.
No wonder Drew is friends with you.
They all 3 represent the parts of genre film that I love the most.
That's wild.
And Night of the Living Dead is one that a lot of people know everything about it, and they've never fucking seen it. Which tells you how fucking important that movie is.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens and you've never seen it. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Well, how many times I've seen Night of the Living Dead in another horror movie too? Somebody watching it in another movie. That's
dude. I've been in 2 movies where it's showing in the movie.
I've probably actually seen the whole movie just pieced together by watching other movies.
Public domain, baby.
Oh, you guys, I gotta say, Wes is fucking killing this draft.
Oh, I know.
I love this.
I knew that we would be totally just fucking in the dark.
I'm gonna say this right now. I don't know what the subject matter will be, but Wes is coming back on.
All right,
100%.
All right, I'll tell you. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. We're over to me now. This is my 3rd pick. And I've been clear that I don't like the director of this movie, but I am a big fan of old Michael Keaton, and I think Beetlejuice is one of my favorite horror characters of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the best, dude. He's the best.
We've talked about Michael Keaton so much on here, like his Bill Murray-esque resurgence is just fucking fantastic. Like
it's better than Bill Murray's.
Yeah, I mean,
Whoa.
It is because it's still like Michael Keaton was never he's a comedic clinch pin. Michael Keaton has always done different things, whereas Bill Murray was he was the funny. He's the funny guy, and I love Bill Murray up to a point.
Yeah,
but some of that fucking Wes Anderson melodrama bullshit, that shit doesn't work for me, man.
Yeah, I love it. Wes is like the only guy I know that doesn't like Wes Anderson. So.
I'm a fucking huge film fan, and I will fucking stand on his grave and tell him that he's dog shit.
Do it on Halloween, though.
And I'll tell you what, if Russ Meyer were still alive, he'd get out of his wheelchair and punch him in the fucking nose.
Anyway,
Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Speaking of Michael Keaton, though, and you guys, I think, will agree, Michael Keaton has that sweet spot the way Tom Hanks did, where it's just just that hot streak of kind of off left comedies and weird shit.
Yeah,
Michael Keaton did the same thing, man, and those are movies that stand the test of time.
Well, that's what I talked about this on. We mentioned Michael Keaton before, but have you ever seen? I believe it's called Johnny Dangerously, the Mafia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That movie is so funny, and it's a lot like you said, like those weird, obscure movies that he did.
Yeah. I love that movie.
Yeah. The whole there's
on Blu-ray.
I don't know. There's that whole scene where they're getting chased in the car and the police are oh, it's a blue sedan. So they peel off or they wallpaper, I think. So they're it's now a red sedan. And then so they cover it again. They're it's a white with flowered sedan. It's so funny.
There's a lot of people in Johnny Dangerously too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of funny people.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton's the man. I mean, he's probably my favorite Batman. He's
no, dude. Ben Affleck.
Even most recently, I don't know if you guys have seen The Founder. But that's the movie about him. He's the founder of McDonald's, but he's the only
good part.
I thought he was so fucking good in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the story alone was insane, and just the way he played it was great.
And also Beetlejuice, nice fucking model.
Nice fucking model.
That's in the lexicon. You know, my favorite line in my two favorite Beetlejuice lines are the part where he's throwing shit out of his tomb. He's trying to get them to come down. He goes, "Well, come have a little bite to eat." That fucking every time he says that, I fucking laugh at him. And the part where he's whipping shit out of his pocket looking for the ring. And he has the other girl's finger with the ring on it, and he goes, "I'll tell you, she meant nothing to me." That's such a fucking stupid, like a dumb Don Knotts line. Oh, I love it. God, Beetlejuice is funny.
Yeah,
man, I am pumped that these two picks have fallen to me. I thought there was no way in hell they would come back around. So the first one I got to take is my favorite, horror flick or scary movie ever. It has one of the scariest scenes, but I'm not taking the two people that I'm thinking of in that scene.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
Out of me. It's Ernest. It's Ernest and Vern.
Yeah, exactly. I'm taking the biggest movie star off this list so far, and I'm taking Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Oh, Jackie boy.
Yeah.
That's where I would have gone, had he not brought up the Dracula. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, let me just segue into mine, and then, but yeah, man, Jack Torrance is so good in there.
Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah, man. I mean, him popping his head
Yeah.
Johnny, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Have you guys ever seen that video of him getting psyched up, like behind the scenes before he did that, before they filmed that scene?
You know what, man? Cocaine does weird shit, and Jack Nicholson is living proof of that. You know who isn't living proof? Dennis Hopper.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh Jesus Christ.
that's a killer joke.
That's one on top of it.
That's right.
Fuck.
Yeah, the scene at the stairs, that was incredible. The bartender. But obviously the scene that sticks out in my mind, it doesn't even have anything to do with him, but it's the little homie riding on the tricycle.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden the two girls, that's one of the scariest things that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, again, this goes back to kind of my point about the women or girls or whatever.
Yes.
When you do something like that haunted me for a while.
Yeah.
Those two fucking girls, you know, and then all of a sudden it would cut to them on the ground with blood all over, like, and it was just like a quick cut. Like,
yeah.
You must
freaked me the fuck out.
You must really hate The Shining, because then there's the lady in the bathtub too.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what scene creeps me out the most is the fucking bear giving a blowjob.
Yes. You know why that fucks with you so bad?
Well,
The colors.
yeah.
The colors in that room and the way that the way that the contrast in color and the mask and just everything built into that shot is set up to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah. Stanley Kubrick, man. I mean, goddamn.
Kubrick, like, people know, like, I'm a Kubrick fucking mark for sure, and like, just like the way he shot that, like, even that scene where Danny's just riding that tricycle or the Hot Wheel or whatever through, like, it's such like a bit, like, it makes you, it's such a big shot, but it also like then becomes super claustrophobic when you're in that hallway with the like like the way he does that is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's one of the most brilliant scenes ever, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it is. Yeah, because it's crazy. It's made out to be a oneer. You know, it's made out to be a single shot. That's fucking incredible, man.
Yeah, kind of going away from it, but I love the whole like single shot idea thing anyway. Because I don't know if anybody's seen Baby Driver, but like they did a lot. I
haven't
of
seen it yet, but I want to see it.
Yeah, Edgar
really
Wright. Yeah,
but they did a lot of this kind of like one camera, no cut kind of thing that was like super impressive. But Jack Torrance to me was like he was almost like changing up the horror game. I mean, he's a different type of horror movie character that it's really hard to replicate that.
Well, he's being brainwashed. And he's just a regular guy that gets brainwashed by evil entities. You know,
and
like
you just like the fact, like you just progressively see him like going crazy. And then when he finally snaps, it's just
they're not even like, that's the thing I love about it, is that they're not like possessing him.
Yeah,
it's literally they're just putting these ideas into his head, making him do it himself.
It's the same concept in The Evil Dead, and I don't think people realize that. That they're being overcome by the Evil Dead. That's what's possessing them. We don't see the Evil Dead. Yeah. Just like we don't see the beings that overcome and control Jack. Right. We don't see the thing that controls Ash. Right. It just controls the person that we're spending the time with.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out Jack Nicholson. He was amazing.
Dude.
In that. Yeah.
What an actor. What an actor.
Yeah. So phenomenal.
And this is another, you had brought up the idea of selecting something that's not necessarily a person or the killer.
Yeah.
And this is one of the movies where you could say the Overlook Hotel is the antagonist. True. You know,
it is 100% the antagonist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that hotel, just people that don't even know Shining or that don't even know anything about horror movies or anything like that, they know Overlook Hotel.
Yeah.
Yep. They also know the image of Nicholson looking through the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole Here's Johnny is just like, you know, people know that more for that than what it's actually from.
And I will say of everyone in that movie, Shelley
Duvall.
Shelley Duvall is without a doubt the standout actor.
She does a great job.
Have you? I remember it was with I think it was with the Blu-ray. They do a documentary. It's actually Kubrick's wife shooting it as they're doing that.
Yeah.
And the way like Kubrick put Shelley Duvall on such edge, she said she hated working for him, but he wouldn't have got that performance had he not completely fucking treated her like shit.
People blame that on the way she is today.
They say that he broke her.
Yeah.
Her career was never the same after The Shining either, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That stairs scene was incredible.
Whew.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where she's got the bat.
The iconic scenes in movie history.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Fucking A.
The way it was done, the angles, all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, I'm surprised again that this pick is still here. How this dude is still on the board is beyond me. And, I want to get a smart kind of villain or whatever. And this guy is talked about all the time, and I got to take Hannibal Lecter.
Of course.
There you go. Hannibal Lecter.
Of course. He's he is now the modern equivalent of our concept of what a serial killer is.
Yeah.
Is all now the modern concept is solely based on Hannibal Lecter at this point.
Yeah.
I think that when the world thinks about a serial killer, that's the guy they think about.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and Chianti sales,
Although I will say, the more I watch that movie over time, the more that I look at the guy's name that played Buffalo Bill.
What's his name? I don't know his name.
That motherfucker is so grimy and just like every time I listen to I don't know if you guys listen to Sword and Scale, the true crime podcast, but every time I listen to that, I feel like every dude they're talking about, I'm like, these motherfuckers are all Buffalo Bill. And every one of these dudes.
Yeah.
James Gumb? What a weird name.
Yeah.
I forgot the S in James.
He was on
and then the Y in Gumby.
He was on Monk with Tony Shalhoub for a
long time. Okay.
Yeah.
Monk was a funny. I can't believe that show ran fucking 12 years.
It was so many. It's one of those shows that was on for a million years, and then you go, fucking Monk is still on TV.
Yeah. It's like my parents' favorite show, and I don't understand why.
You just described Monk's demographic.
I actually had a kid at work. He's 22 years old, and he's like, "Hey man, you ever see Burn Notice?" And I'm like, "You and my grandma watch Burn Notice."
Just backhand.
It's like the new school Mr. Bean. Man, yeah. So, Hannibal Lecter.
Man.
Probably one of the most, evil, smartest characters, and I just think it's iconic when you're talking about horror movie characters. He's got to go in.
The face with the mask over him, that, man. Yeah.
Hello, Clarice. Yeah. I love. Hannibal Lecter's. That's a great pick. I love that fucking in the movie Hannibal when he's got Ray Liotta's fucking head opened up and he's just fucking tinkering with it. Yeah. That shit is so great.
I like the Scary Movie 2 version of that. Yes. Chris Elliott.
Yes, I love that.
Take my good hand.
Take my strong hand. And when she looks into his brain, it's fucking Beetlejuice with Stern.
Howard Stern, drink. Oh, shit.
Watch my hand.
Oh, yeah.
Solid pick. I'm changing my pick to Chris Elliott.
I picked Cabin Boy.
So, kind of funny. You don't know this, but we recorded What is Halloween podcast.
Yeah.
And we lost our first episode, so I had to re-record it. But the first one I took, I took somebody that may go in this draft. And then I took the Scary Movie version of that that
of the
same
Ghostface
guy. Yeah. In the second one. So
it's the what, like the after the bong hit and the tongue's hanging out. It's oh shit!
Good stuff.
All right, well we're back to me, and I already had plans of picking this guy anyway, but Wes kind of gave a little preview of it, and I'm going to go with Ashley Williams from Evil Dead, Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Of course.
Army of Darkness. That's my boy. I actually went to Halloween Horror Nights this year, and not only did they have a Shining house where they did a great job of recreating the Overlook Hotel, they had an Ash vs. Evil Dead house, which they had like the bar from Ash's hometown. They had outside, they had the Sam Raimi, the yellow Oldsmobile that's in every one of his fucking movies.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. But it wasn't scary, but it was just fun to see it, you know?
Yeah, I will say the original Evil Dead still has the ability. Like, we think of Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, they're kind of slapsticky.
Yeah.
Which is fine. They're fun. But the first Evil Dead is still a pretty fucked up movie.
Oh, it's a pretty dark-ass movie.
It is. It really is, man. And it's very isolated. Ash is very isolated. And truthfully, Ash is a piece of shit coward for most of the movie.
Yeah.
He only acts out of necessity at that point. Like, he hits a point where he's just like, I don't have a choice now. They're all going to turn on me. Like,
right.
It's a really fucking, it still is a scary movie. It's still, it can still scare the shit out of somebody.
Yeah. I definitely lean, of course, I've picked Beetlejuice, Freddy Krueger, Ash Williams. I mean, clearly I care about a comedy element in my horror movies. So
you like the smart ass.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah. So Evil Dead 2 and beyond, Army of Darkness is basically a comedy. I mean, it's a funny fucking movie.
It's a Monty Python movie.
Yeah, exactly.
What it is.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys watched the Ash vs. Evil Dead series, but it's so fucking funny and good and ties into the original.
The remake, not a remake, but that sequel.
Yeah.
That movie is fucking good, man.
That is actually really fucking crazy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I thought it was so well done.
They actually did an Evil Dead house, I think it was either last year or 2 years ago at Halloween Horror Nights and in Orlando, Universal Orlando, and it was that version of Evil Dead, the remakey version or whatever. But
love it. Love that one.
Yeah. It was that movie was gory as fuck. It was great. God, I love the blender scene.
You know where the biggest misstep in it was? And I know, like, it would have probably, like, it would have sucked the realness out. Well, I mean, as real as it's going to get, but it would have kind of sucked you out of the movie.
Yeah.
That scene at the end when it starts to rain blood.
Yeah.
Why they didn't license Raining Blood by Slayer and play it through that whole like watching the whole thing build up, the raindrops start hitting the ground. Come on, man.
That would have been amazing.
It wrote itself. It could have been in there.
Or It's Raining Men.
That
would have worked too.
It's raining menstruation.
When I went to see that, oh god damn it! When I went to see that
period joke back around.
When I went to see that Evil Dead remake, I had
pennies.
I had eaten an edible before I went to the movie. And I was I was in there just like, it was so great.
A couple years ago, I had an edible and then rewatched, Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh wow.
Like, which is a dog shit movie.
Yeah.
But like, I was so like, I couldn't stop staring at Vampirella's nails like through the whole thing. And in that part of my brain, I was just like, why is it taking them so long to walk so little distance. So like Plan 9 became a totally different movie to me on edibles. It was like
great.
David Lynch level, like, what the fuck is going on?
That's awesome. Fuck, edibles. Today we're
edibles,
sponsored by edibles.
Sponsored by edibles.
but not the marijuana laced goodies, just edibles. The you know the store that you can ship strawberries to people. Send a nice fruit basket.
So am I?
You're up.
Yeah, you're up.
I'm
Yeah.
up.
Pick 4.
Yeah.
So this fella, I can't believe he hasn't gone yet. Not unlike Andy, but I mean, when we talk about things that cause an effect in horror and society,
Yeah.
is there any greater example than Bruce the Shark from Jaws?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Bruce the Shark.
He fucked up the beach
For
tourist
everybody.
industry for a long time, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I still
Yeah,
like,
he is iconic.
I still know
Iconic
people that
character,
don't
yeah.
like, they won't go to like, they're like, no, I don't go in the water unless I can, like, if I can't see my feet, I'm not going in any further.
My
Like-
wife will not go. My wife won't go into open water, and that's why.
That's a smart
Like-
woman.
Just show her the
Yeah.
show her the videos of the shark breaking down, like behind the scenes, and she'll be like, "Yeah, that's fine. We could go in."
Piece of shit.
You see, like,
I like the idea of like an effects guy kicking it, like motherfucker.
there's a video. I swear I've seen it before. I haven't seen it since, but there was a video. I don't know if it was a spoof or whatever, but it looks like it's an old school behind the scenes video of a guy just hitting it with a fucking hammer, like just trying to get it to move.
Move
It'd be
its
hilarious.
jaw.
It'd be hilarious if a real shark was in there and then saw that and thought he was picking on you, you know, buddy.
Kicking my friend.
I imagine like Richard Dreyfuss having like a Christian Bale-esque like breakdown, like you know, like you what? You can't get the fucking shark to work. You know who I am? I'm Richard Dreyfuss. I'm Richard Dreyfuss.
I do have to tell you guys. I just shot a spoof trailer called Shark Nacho.
Oh yeah.
And I will link it to you guys once it's out. Dustin Mills shot it for his Patreon supporters, and it's about like a shark nacho attacking people on a beach.
Sounds great.
Wait, did he get the idea from Clerks?
I don't.
And he's got the chip
Probably.
and he's going around the salsa and he's like, damn it, salsa shark.
I was fortunate enough to get to play the Dreyfuss part. So.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Which, like, all you have to do is enunciate really hard and have a high place.
Yeah, we'll definitely link that when we put out the post, so you guys can all check it out.
Yeah.
Shark Nacho.
Shark
Not
Nacho.
featuring the dude from 90210 and Tara Reid.
Yeah.
Going back to Bruce, I mean, there is, in my opinion, I don't think there are a lot of perfect movies.
Yeah.
But I would say that Jaws is probably a perfect movie.
Yeah, pacing, everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
The pace, the character development, the how the scenery is used, how the music's used, everything works on every level. Everybody was firing on all cylinders.
I was just gonna say, you know, we talked about soundtracks and everything. Like, nothing is more iconic than just going 2 beats. Like everybody knows. You're like, oh, Jaws. Like, what other things do you know that with?
There are people who hate horror movies that love Jaws.
Yeah.
I mean, that should tell you all you need to know. It's an example of the greatness of Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those examples of like, this guy knew how to make movies that affected people, like affected a global audience.
Yeah.
Like That's great storytelling. And Jaws is just fucking perfect, man.
I'd say there's 2 movies on here that are movies that are just great movies. Like and we're talking about probably The Shining and Jaws, like are ranked very high in best movies overall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not even counting horror. So it's a perfect pick.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of movies on this list, though, that do, thus far, the ones we've chosen, that did transcend just the horror genre into the pop culture lexicon. Yeah. And I think that's what makes them stand out is Jaws, The Shining, Silence of the Lambs, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Night of the Living Dead. These movies transcended their own genre to become pop culture.
Yeah.
And that's what defines a character is being able to move out of your little hallway into the wide open room.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm going to go with one that honestly, I would say even pops into some people's Rushmores and surprisingly has dropped this far. And I'm going Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
That is a character that is just so, oh my God, Clive Barker, like, there's somebody else out there, Wes, you've already mentioned him, like Del Toro, as far as creating monsters and like, oh my God, like they're so good with the whole like design of a monster. And
Clive Barker, dude. Yeah. Oh God.
But this is one that I think I can't what's the guy's name that plays Pinhead?
Doug Bradley.
Yeah, okay.
God damn it. That's awesome.
Wow.
That
was. I was literally looking it up. It's Google.
So like
you want to go to horrorgoogle.com
just for stupid stuff. I'm more like stupid Google.
Yeah. Just if you have anything like before you go to Google, just go to at Wes's blood sprayer and see if he knows the answer. So yeah, man, like this is one of those characters. What I was worried with Pennywise, and like is it's so much, and because it's not a mask, it's just paint. Like it's hard to replace, and like in what was it? It was like number 6 or something. It wasn't him. Like it wasn't him, but like he made that character so like just his face and everything. And I'm not talking about the pins, like his actual face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made it, and the first Hellraiser is so good, and just even the Demonites that came after, like there's so many cool characters that have come out of that series.
And like if you want to get a glimpse of somebody basically like putting it out on Front Street, like sexual subculture in a mainstream released movie, Hellraiser is it. That is all straight up BDSM stuff.
Yeah.
And like it is all the whole movie, the whole concept, the look, that is all Clive Barker talking about BDSM.
Yeah. Pinhead's the original Christian Grey.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say Hellraiser is the Lady Gaga of movies.
Oh yeah. It's also like, and I mean, it might seem like, well, duh, Clive Barker's gay, of course, but there's a lot of gay nuances and undertones that are built into that story. About things about being a gay man in modern culture, like are built into Hellraiser. That I don't think people realized when the movie came out.
It's funny that you say that, because every time somebody does something like blatantly gay, I'll say, all right, Clive Barker.
That's going to be a thing now.
Somehow his like raspy smoker voice.
Yeah.
It's like Harvey Firestein.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, like the first time you hear Harvey Firestein, you're like, it's gay man, right? He's gay.
Yeah.
And like when you hear Clive Barker talk, it's all that low. You without knowing, you're like, Clyde's gay. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So Harvey Weinstein is going to turn to Harvey Firestein if he goes to jail.
I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but Harvey Firestein was eating a lot of shit on Twitter, and he was like, "It's not me, asshole."
Harvey Firestein in Independence Day when he's I gotta call my mom.
Oh my god, dude, so fucking great.
Shit.
Yeah.
And then there was an homage to Pinhead years later, and they just took the pens out and called them powder.
You know, this
Powderhead.
This one, you know, I feel like this is one too that is it's very like, I think it doesn't get and tying into Halloween, I think it doesn't get the like why it's not more like out there is because it's actually really hard to fucking replicate a Halloween costume. Like,
Oh yeah.
It is. Yeah. And when you see somebody do like just the Cenobites in general.
yeah.
You will go to like a convention and you'll see like makeup studios that rebuild the Cenobites if Clyde Barker's there. And it's hard fucking makeup to do. It's like you have to, it requires a very specific look. And one thing you mentioned, Doug Bradley, like his look, like it can't be anybody else playing Pinhead.
Right.
Yeah.
Doug Bradley, the shape of his head and his jawline are very distinct. And I think that's what always makes it so like anybody's going to look like an imposter if it's not him.
Exactly.
Because I like the outer sides of his jawline tell me that it's Doug Bradley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And you see anybody else, you're like, no, this is fake, man. This ain't the guy.
Yeah, so you got a white face, get acupuncture without pulling it back out.
Yep.
That's how you have to do it.
Yeah. And I gotta mention probably like one of my favorite memes of the year, and it was it just said, it had like the picture of the box and it said like the original fidget spinner or whatever, or the fidget box.
I love that, in this movie, there's a scene where they're in like a hallway. They're inside that hell side of things or whatever. They unlock the box, and then the guy's in like a hallway, and all of a sudden this worm thing is coming at him.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yep.
Yes.
And you can actually see like the wheelchair that they had it like stuck on behind there or whatever.
Yeah.
I never saw that forever. And then I happened upon this website one time that was just showing like mistakes in movies.
Yeah.
And I went back because you're like watching Hellraiser, you actually kind of get sucked into it.
Yeah.
Where something like that you wouldn't notice because you're too into the whole idea that they're in hell and you don't want to change that yourself. So, but yeah, they pointed that out, and then they pointed out I talked about Event Horizon earlier, the part where you see the demon and they go to the backside of him and you can see the zipper at the top of it just dangling there.
How about Pumpkinhead's Air Force Nikes?
That wasn't on the list, but that's awesome.
If you look that up, you'll see it.
Hell yeah. Captain Air Force One, son.
He's got like white Air Force Nikes, Air Force Ones or something like that.
That's amazing. And you know what sucks about that is then you can't unsee it.
Yeah, I know. I kind of.
Yep, then it's stuck, man.
It's like now.
Why does Pumpkinhead not have a pumpkin for a head?
Good question.
Because that's what I was expecting to see, and I was excited.
Yeah.
It is a little misleading.
Yeah.
It looks more like a butthole face.
The Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes or whatever, like that's actual tomatoes.
Yeah.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Oh, I love that shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we in honorable mentions?
No,
not yet.
We're on
Drew's got
fifth
his last pick.
We
We all have one last pick, and then we go to honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So with my fifth, I'm gonna pick something a little newer, just to give some new movies some love. And since you picked the other Insidious, I won't pick that. But I'm gonna go with The fucking nun from Conjuring 2.
Balak.
Oh my God, that shit that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking that whole movie got did a better job of capturing the haunting shit. I think they put a better stamp on it than like an Amityville did. Like if you go back and watch Amityville now, it feels very dated.
Yeah.
And Conjuring like plants itself in that same time frame, but still like came off as more effective at presenting the story than a lot of that shit did. Like if you look at Sinister had the right idea, but it loses its steam in the third act. Like it doesn't. You start to become disinterested with it. Whereas The Conjuring, like you're connected to the people. Yeah. You care about what happens to that family, and I think a lot of that falls onto Lily. What's her name? Lily Thompson. Oh shit! I can't think of her name. The one that plays the mom. Like I really I feel like she's a very empathetic character.
Oh, she's great. She's really great.
Yeah. And
one thing I loved about
her.
Yeah, one thing I loved about Conjuring 2 also is they actually played into the like most of those movies don't address things like that, but they were like packed up, ready to go. Like, oh, this is all a hoax. Like I love that aspect of the movie that they brought it into reality a little bit more, that you're like, you kind of let your guard down, and next thing you know, it was like everything was back, and you're like, fuck, I'm right back in this.
Yeah. They do serve you a lot of red herrings. Yeah. And that's what makes the Conjuring, of all those ghost movies that came out there a couple years ago, I think the Conjuring's the strongest one in terms of, it built empathetic characters. Like Insidious is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of good visuals, but like my heart wasn't really with those people.
Yeah.
Whereas the family in The Conjuring, like I connect to them. I feel for them. And that's the most important thing when you have a possession or a haunting movie, is like, you got to have a character that you're empathizing with. You're fearing for their safety, and that's what they were able to do in The Conjuring.
Yeah, if you don't care if somebody dies, then it's you're not going to get it.
Yeah. Right. And right there, Drew, you just described the problem with modern horror.
Yeah.
I think part of this we would have to blame Eli Roth for, because like he writes unlikable characters.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I get it. I get why he's doing it. But if I don't, he does not like that, does he?
And he had to look up the nun.
If you don't like the person,
I should have just done it.
You don't give a fuck if they get their head cut off.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Like, at all.
Yeah.
You
like
don't give a shit.
That movie that, I was actually just listening to, Joe Rogan the other day, and Joe Rogan, I'm a big fan of him, but he has really bad taste in movies. And, he was talking.
He does. He has terrible taste in film.
And he was talking about actually him and his
music
and his little the guy that he has that runs the board and everything. They were talking about that Eli Roth movie where it was basically a remake of like Cannibal Holocaust or whatever.
The Green Inferno.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Dude, I thought that movie, I hated that movie. Yeah. Like
it's not good.
Disliked it completely, 100%, like not one redeeming factor. And they were talking about, that's a great movie on Joe Rogan. I'm like, no, I'm screaming no. Like, but
he likes a very specific type of weird movie.
Yeah. But
here's the problem with power.
Yeah.
Here's the problem when you look at a movie like Green Inferno. Okay, number one, you're going to pull your punches.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it right out of the gate because you're not going to go for it the way the first Cannibal movies did.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I don't want you to. I have a cat and dog that I love very, very much, and if anyone ever harmed them, I would be heartbroken. The animals that died in those Italian cannibal films were used and eaten by the natives that were cast as extras in the movie, so good. But it also set a tone in that movie that you can't replicate.
Yeah.
And so knowing they couldn't replicate it, Eli Roth went for this like, oh, snarky, everything's on social media. But yeah, we know. That's the world we're in, man.
Yeah.
And there's not fuck all we can do to change it.
Yeah.
So instead of going, wouldn't it be great if these social justice warriors got eaten by cannibals? Instead of doing that, maybe look at how you're going to market your film.
Yeah.
And realize that you're talking out of both sides of your mouth instead of just going, I loved Cannibal Holocaust. I loved Dr. Butcher, MD. I loved Cannibal Ferox. I wanted to make a cannibal movie.
Yeah.
Just fucking say it, asshole. And make your cannibal movie. It'll be respectable at least.
Yeah. I agree.
You touch my dog, I'm going John Wick.
Fucking A, man. My dog's the only one in this house that's there when I walk in the door every day. Just saying.
Right?
Not my stupid kids.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Oh, fuck.
You're up.
Well, Wes, it's back to you, man.
Oh, boy.
Final pick.
So here's my fiver. And this is one I really did think would already go in some form. Mm-hmm. Maybe not specifically this form, but in some form. He is the literal embodiment of evil. He's not Michael Myers. He's the actual devil, Damien.
Yeah.
Damien.
From The Omen.
Yeah,
That's the little kid, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's actually like...
That is freaky.
Yeah,
if you want to have your whole world fucked up, watch two scenes. The birthday party scene.
Yes.
And driving through the zoo safari scene.
Yeah.
That will ruin your life for good.
It's all for you, Damien. Oh my God.
It's all for you, Damien.
Yeah, that's
and
the other
she
thing.
hangs herself in front of kids. In his face. Oh God, he's just like, no, she did it.
Women and kids. Women and kids.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what else is fucked up, man. That scene with those baboons.
Yeah.
When they attack the car, because Damien's in it. Do you know how they got those baboons to react? Did you guys ever hear this story?
No.
This is the worst thing in the world, and I would never condone a filmmaker doing it, but you gotta do what you gotta do for your art. They had one of the animal wranglers tranquilize one of the dominant males and lay it in the back seat. They put it in the back seat of the car so it was visible to the other
Oh my good Lord.
Shit.
Fuck.
It's the worst fucking thing in the world, because if that thing had woken up, everyone in the car is dead.
They would have been murdered. They would have ripped all their faces off, ate it.
I guarantee it was one of those situations where the guy's like, so you have literally 5 minutes, 38 seconds to get that car out of here. To get everybody out.
Dude, it's so awful.
The camera guy's like, I don't know, I ran out of film. I gotta refill it.
It's fucked up. Like
wow.
Yeah. So, but I mean, Damien on a larger scale, Damien represents Satan, represents the devil.
Yeah.
Which actually everybody we're talking about.
Yeah.
They, in the historical sense, good versus evil, all of these characters we've named are representing evil in some way.
Yeah.
With the exception of Ben from Night of the Living Dead, obviously.
Right.
I want to make sure that I do say that, because I don't want to be like, the black guy. But all of these guys, they all represent the devil, and Damien was the concept of like the son of Satan born unto the earth. And if you think about it too, if you've read the book, Gregory Peck's character, the father in The Omen, has an aspiring political career.
Yeah.
Which is super fucking smart and very telling of modern society. But I love The Omen. I loved the book. I read the book when I was like Drew, your brother and I were in a phase where, because I think, did your mom read Stephen King books?
I think
and like,
so, yeah.
And I think your mom read true crime books too, because there was a bunch of us, and you'd have to ask Darren if I'm right on that, but we were all reading like horror books and true crime books in like 5th and 6th grade. Cause I remember reading like the Green River Killer at like 11. I'm like, yeah, no, that's sensible. Let me read that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. My grandma was a huge, like, she read every book that was like written before she died. Like, it's insane. Yeah. And, and I know my older brother, Derek, he had got a bunch of those books from her. So that might have been where that started. So,
I think it might be. Yeah. Cause I remember reading, like this isn't the same thing. Like I read The Omen. I read, Pet Sematary. I read The Shining, Stand, all that.
I actually remember that Omen book, and I don't know if you guys had it, but I remember it was
the paperback.
Yes, the paperback. I remember like the condition of it, but I remember like
that was mine.
Yeah.
I bought it at St. Vincent de Paul's for 10 cents in Fostoria, and I'm pretty sure your brother borrowed it after I finished.
But I remember one of us. It was either me or your brother, Jimmy J. Knox. He actually, like, we got in trouble, like, in the 2nd grade, like, you guys shouldn't have that book. Like, you can't bring that in here anymore.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's great, dude.
Yeah.
So Damien, the devil is my number 5.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that you bring that up. Team. A guy that I work with was talking to me about how, his wife's sister and her husband, they adopted this kid, and the kid is obsessed with Slender Man.
Oh yeah,
and
I got a 5th grader. I'm very familiar with creepypasta.
The kid's like 6 or 7 years old, and he's obsessed. He's obsessed with Slender Man, and he like draws these pictures of Slender Man coming in and like murdering their family and like just all this. And they adopted this kid a year ago, so like it was like a year of like this broken kid that they're trying to fix and like save his life, but it's funny because
Wes just made a face that I made last night when I was told this story. Like all I was thinking was, oh my god, this kid is gonna kill his family.
Well, as he was saying it, my instinct is to go,
I'll say this, that's not always the case. My brother, it was weird, but I don't know what year it was, but he went to like a Ringling Art summer camp. He's a very artsy kid. And he drew a picture, which they got a little concerned about, of Hitler. So it was Hitler hanging Barney.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, man.
Well,
but he's perfectly normal. He's a different dude, but he's normal.
Why he is full disclosure, he is in prison. But,
but I mean, so he would do weird things like I was telling them in an earlier podcast. He recorded an album of all sounds like boiling water, static on the TV. And like sold it at a store under the name Acton Hesperus. I'm not even sure what that means, but yeah. So yeah. I mean, good dude. Shout out to my bro.
I can tell you that. I can tell you this, having been around, like having played music for as many years as I did, and been around the film world as long as I have. Yeah, I know a lot of weird fucking people. So like, I hear that and I'm like, yeah, no, that seems right. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
But the picture was wild. I mean, the picture was wild.
I'd put it on a t-shirt.
Hanging Barney. Yeah,
I'd put it on a t-shirt.
All right, well, guys, it's back to me. And this is my 5th pick, and I'll tell you what, there's still a pretty hardcore banger out there. And
there's a lot of them.
I'm going to pick them right now, and I'm going to go with the OG Psycho, Norman Bates.
Oh.
I go Psycho Killer, Norman Bates. It's an old dirty bastard.
Yeah.
Shout out. Rest in peace.
Okay, so here's the thing. You have 2 options there. You can go Old Dirty, or you can go with the Talking Heads. Psycho Killer. The Talking Heads. Who, Tommaso Ciampa, used as his entrance music for,
nice.
for a long time
There you
on
go.
the Independence. Yeah.
Like that.
Drink.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Yeah, so we've literally killed everybody today.
Norman, I mean, Psycho, the movie, just in general,
it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
And they keep trying to fuck with it and remake it, and they can't do it. And
you can't. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean,
like the Gus Van Sant did the shot for shot remake, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like
Liev Schreiber.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about them. I care about the real Norman Bates. I care about that. God, Psycho's so fucking good, man.
And
it's so good.
It's so amazing that the main character dies a half hour into the movie. Like, and then it just becomes this other movie. Like, it's an insane thing. Like to think about. Like, it's a lot like, like Wes Craven tried to do it with Scream, and like with Drew Barrymore, like she was like the title, like Drew Barrymore's in this, and it's like 3 minutes and she's done.
What's great about it too, though.
Spoiler alert.
Oh Jesus Christ, man! I'm gonna spoil it. I think fuck you, internet. It's free content. Fuck your spoilers. I think that had Hitchcock not done that, no one would be thinking about doing that.
No.
That's why it's so fucking cool. Because had he not decided, like, you know what, we're going to build the movie around her.
Yeah.
We're going to build the marketing around her. And then she dies in the first act. That's because then you've lost your hope. You can't hang your hat on any comfort for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Except finding out how horribly this whole thing's going to unravel.
Yeah.
And that's such fucking smart storytelling, man.
Hitchcock is one of those guys too who put his actors through the ringer, off camera, and like really
specifically the female actors. Treated like absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Tippi Hedren with the birds.
Yeah.
Fucking Harvey Weinstein.
Piece of Harvey Weinstein shit.
You said Psycho, and at first I was like American Psycho, and then I that's in my head for a second.
Patrick Bateman could be a good pick for this.
He could,
he would be.
I assumed he would be.
Yeah, and he might be in honorable mentions. He's just not going to be my fifth pick. My fifth pick features the 4 words in the Human Dictionary. If you put them together, people get a little scared. People get a little freaked out of you. And it's the 4 movies that I put with horror movies. And it's Want to Play a Game? I'm taking
Jigsaw, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, I thought that as actually one of the movies where you have several of them and they're all good, for their different ways. And he's kind of like Hannibal Lecter in the sense that he's using his brain and he's making you kill him yourself. He's not actually doing it.
Right.
Right. I'm still with you guys. I'm looking something up real quick. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Oh, no problem.
I thought for sure that he would pop up quicker.
Yeah, I did too.
I did.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, that first Saw was like,
oh my god, it's so good.
Like
it was so good
to have like like we say all the like everything is just remake. So like to have that kind of idea of like the making the choice. Like, okay, I can either cut my own fucking arm off, or what did he have to like? I forget. Foot. Yeah, I have to cut my own foot off, or like
shout out to Shaq.
Shout out to Shaq.
But man, what a fucking great idea. I know the little clown thing they designed too, like like that's scary as shit.
Oh yeah, dude!
Like clown on the tricycle.
Yeah, like that. Just the look of the movie too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I mean, you don't know how many
that almost resurrected there was probably other ones that were good, but it felt like there was a down period probably for horror movies, or maybe I just didn't notice what was going on.
Yeah.
But Saw felt like it almost resurrected things.
Yeah.
Well, there's a real hot area right there.
Yeah.
With Eli Roth, with like Cabin Fever, House of a Thousand Corpses, Saw, High Tension, and then the Hills Have Eyes remake are all kind of in like one spot together.
High Tension.
Okay.
Shit.
Oh God, what a fucking movie, man! Oh my God, that's a good movie.
When he's making the head suck his dick, like I was like, oh fuck, this is insane. This is that was like one of the craziest things ever.
And what's really weird is when you realize the end of the movie, and you're like, wait,
you're like, how did that happen?
And that's one of the movies that's from that ultra violent wave of French movies too. Yeah. That'd be a whole nother fucking subsect there of like, because the Gaspar Noé movie Irreversible, that sort of kicked off that whole thing with. Oh,
Irreversible is good.
Jesus, that movie will fuck with you.
Yeah.
Irreversible started that path off. So then you got what is that movie? It's called Baisez-moi. I think it's translated to Rape Me.
That's nice.
And then you have
is that produced by Harvey Weinstein?
That was a Miramax movie.
Special appearance by Woody
you had
Bill Cosby was great in that movie.
Let's just put together a whole cast.
You had High Tension, you had Irreversible, you had Martyrs. Have you guys ever seen the movie Inside?
No.
I've seen Inside Out.
Inside, I'll just tell you this. There's a woman who is 9 months pregnant and a lady with scissors.
Oh no.
Oh God. That reminds me of that Dumplings movie.
Oh Jesus, fucking Korean people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Dumplings is a very interesting movie. They basically they find like they kill babies and put them in dumplings, and that's basically like the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
Like, young girls that get pregnant, they can have their babies aborted. No one knows it happened, and they're turned into dumplings that apparently, like Drew said, they're a fountain of youth that that helps the main actress maintain her career as an actress. Even
people
when she's aging out. Yeah. But there's consequences, of course. But
what the fuck? This is crazy. Oh, wow.
The international film market is a scary, scary place.
Yeah.
As far as Saw goes for me, a couple points. First off, I'm a big fan of a Rube Goldberg, so the Jigsaw's like my guy, you know. He's
sure.
That dude he started as a kid stacking dominoes and he got to the Saw situation, you know. So
crazy.
But also in the second Saw movie, the scene with the hypodermic needle pit.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was gonna mention.
That shit fucks me up, dude. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, that's one of those few like scenes in movies you feel.
Yeah.
Like you just imagine like you're just like, oh God, like, you know, it just brings a chill, like thinking about it, like goosebumps now, you know what I mean?
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful because I think about like the ones going under their fingernails and I just,
yeah.
Or like,
good.
one that always, and this isn't a horror movie, but like, the scene in American History X, the curb, like that sound of the teeth on the curb, like just runs down your spine. You know what I mean?
You know, that going back to Irreversible, Drew, when the guy caves the other guy's head in with that fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
That sound.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Yeah. Irreversible for those, it was like have you guys seen that movie Memento? Like backwards?
The narrative goes backwards.
Yeah.
And
so
the movie oh God.
It starts, it's weird because it starts with this ultra violent sequence of things. and then like by the end it's happy. Like it's fucked up.
What's really fucked up is the first scene is like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it's this, like, the camera is just spinning and making you nauseous and it's in this underground, like, gay sex club.
Yeah.
And
hot.
And it's just,
I'm in. You had me at gay sex club.
Why didn't you open with that?
Shit, I gotta get that. The movie starts that way and then ends like Gaspar Noé is one of these directors that like wants to like assault his audience. The movie ends with this high pitched sound that is essentially like meant to nauseate you.
Oh my god!
And it's just like it's fucking it's so challenging to watch.
Oh man!
But it's really good.
Yeah.
He's a great filmmaker.
So everybody's
guys.
in.
Yeah, we got our 5 picks.
everybody's
That's it. That's it.
Now we're up for honorables.
Let me give my 3 honorables real quick.
Hey,
here's how we do it. I don't know
James and Drew, I can't see you guys. Is that a problem?
No.
I mean we can still hear. So
okay,
yeah,
okay, cool.
That's all
cool.
you want to see anyway.
Yeah, you're right. So honorable mentions. How's this go?
So basically, I'm going to rattle off my 3 really fast, and then you'll have your 3. Andy is actually has the unfortunate spot because he just gets all the fucking leftovers.
Yeah. But the good news is you guys have some like ones I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
And I still have about 10 left on my board, so I feel good.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna actually start with a character that's not necessarily scary, but he's a lot of fun, and I think he's a very iconic character without people even realizing it. And I'm gonna pick Jack from Trick or Treat.
Hey!
Yeah, I fucking love that. Like he's such a cool little, like, fun little guy.
Oh, you mean Sam?
Or Sam? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sam's great.
Yeah.
He is all over our house, man. That's oh yeah. That's like one of that's where it movie let me know that the genre was in good hands because that's the first horror movie my son really connected with.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's a good movie.
Yeah,
very good.
and we watch it every year and around.
This is a movie with Anna Paquin in it.
Okay,
so
it is.
Yeah, we got to it.
We got it.
We got to it. We found the Anna Paquin movie.
Oh, that looks awesome. That's like the cutest costume
dude.
ever.
Isn't it?
He's great. Sam's so great. Dude.
Yeah.
You would like
he's
Andy.
wonderful.
This is another movie that it wouldn't horrify you to watch it. It's a horror movie, but it's good and it's well told.
It's an anthology.
Yeah.
It's an anthology.
Yeah.
I'm definitely watching this. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time, man.
My next one, I'm gonna go with these 2 people. When I was a kid, scared the shit out of me, and I don't even know if they ever gave real names, but I'm talking about Mommy and Daddy from People Under the Stairs.
Oh God!
That movie when I was a kid, man, like that was like it came out like 91, so it was like I was like 7 or 8, and man, that just hit a sweet spot with me that I was like, oh, these people are fucking creepy.
Has there ever been a more like cringeworthy movie about child abuse and like just like oh God, like it's so uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
Like it has so many scenes that are kind of corny.
Yeah.
But then after that, man, there's like if you really look at the underlying story there.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is awful.
And for
Mommy and Daddy. Fuck, good pull, Drew. Nice work, man.
And for my 3rd pick, I'm going to go with, oh God, there is a lot on here I need to pick. Oh, fuck. But I'm going to go with one that is I guess like, is more on the character side of like, all right, that's a cool looking guy. And I'm gonna pick the eyeball hand guy. I don't know what you call him from Pan's Labyrinth.
From Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a cool character. Like I was saying earlier with Clive Barker, Guillermo del Toro just knows how to like make a character and
he does.
Just the concept. I like the idea guy. He's the Andy of movies. So
yes, he is.
So Pale Man.
Yeah. Pale Man. Yeah, that's what he's called.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
just like every character in that movie. The Fawn. Oh man.
Yeah.
God, what a good movie.
I want to see an Avengers movie with Pale Man, Pinhead, and Powder just together fighting crime.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just the embodiment of white.
It's going to be called Whiteout.
And then
And Richard Spencer will be feverishly masturbating.
Hell yeah. Masturbation.
I'm glad you were hell yang masturbating, not that alt-right cunt.
Yeah. Definitely not.
All right, Wes, you got 3 honorable mentions for us?
All right. I do. So, my first one is the movie that is the character from, this will play into Andy's female character fears. This movie revived horror for me, and it's the character Asami Yamazaki from Takashi Miike's Auditions.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw her picture and I was like, who the hell is this? This is freaky. Yeah.
That movie is, Drew can tell you, James, I don't know if you've ever watched, but
I've never seen
Audition is this fucking slow burn
It's
movie that gets so uncomfortable, and then just the last 20 minutes is bonkers.
And it wasn't that was like the first movie that made everybody go like, oh, you got to see what all these Japanese guys are doing, or Korean or whatever.
That truthfully, that movie is what caught people's attention before The Ring got remade and came out. People were going, what the fuck is happening in Japan right now?
Yeah. Japanese horror is fucking insane. But then it got oversaturated by America trying to. Yeah.
Takashi Miike is, I love him. He's one of he's a worker, man. He's always putting something out. But fuck, man, Audition was a major bright spot for him. And she is so scary, and just like, because there's so much stuff that never gets explained too.
Yeah.
Like who, the guy that's in the bag, like, we didn't get a lot of backstory on that. And like the shit that happened to her as a kid when she was a ballet student, and just, and then if there is anything worse than watching somebody shove straight pins into somebody's eyeball, or to watch somebody saw somebody's feet off with piano wire, if there's something worse, you tell me.
There's not. You win.
No, you're good. She is she's so fucking memorable and so creepy, and what's great is she's gorgeous. She's a supermodel in Japan, and she's amazing.
Yeah.
The next one is a little left of center. It's kind of more of a duo, but it represents the overall theme. It's the zombies.
Silent Bob.
It's the zombies. It's the zombies from Lucio Fulci's Zombie.
Okay.
And more specifically, it would be Maggot Eye, who is he's the poster.
Yeah, he's the cover. Yeah,
you know what I mean? When you think of Fulci movies, you think of that image, but also his brethren in the zombie that fights the shark, because
yes,
there is no more ridiculous fucking amazing example of Italian cinema than a fucking zombie fist fighting a shark.
You know, what a brilliant idea though, because it made you realize, like, oh yeah, I guess they could just walk on a bottom of water, like.
And what it did was it pieced the story together, because then we can go, oh well, they walked into the water, attacked the people on the boat, got on the boat, and made their way back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's how they got here, because they can walk in water. Nothing stops them.
Right.
But oh god damn it, I just loved it so much.
I gotta say, like, using that and then going back to Andy's number one pick, I remember as a kid doing that so much, like, you know, you'd be in a pond, like, just swimming or whatever, and then like you get like to the shoreline, and then you just walk up like you were Jason, like walk out of the water. Like that was the best as a kid.
Oh yeah,
don't jump in.
Just walking straight out of the water.
Yeah.
Where you're like, yeah, man,
You know-
fucking Jason.
You know, a little side note on this, Wes, you used to have the blood sprayer podcast.
Yeah.
And you guys had talked about that frightrags.com on that.
Oh yeah.
From back in the day, and I actually went on there after listening to that, and I found the shirt of the zombie hitting the shark, and I bought it for my wife. So, yeah.
Oh, Jay Baruchel, where's it in? What movie is it? This is the end.
I think. So.
Oh, does
Yeah.
he? Does he? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
A buddy of mine still works at Fright Rags, Chris Tansky. He's a great guy.
Sweet.
And then my final one is I don't know if it's like I don't know how it's not something that you would have thought of, but it's because it fucked with me so bad that I find him terrifying.
Uh-huh.
And it's Alfred Molina's character in Boogie Nights.
With the little Asian kid just throwing
Yes.
firecrackers.
Yes. Yes. That fucking scene gives me so much. It gives me so much anxiety, and it just like it is this like brutal combination of like. Like this is why cocaine's bad. Number one. Like,
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
This is the version of what was it in Scream where they're like showgirls. That movie terrified me.
yes. Boogie Nights fucked with me so bad. Like it's like the first time you see like two girls, one cup, or like one guy, one jar, or like
right.
or like the first time someone sent you the link to Mr. Hands, and you're like, well, you know what? All humanity is lost, and I just want to crawl in a hole and die. I don't want to live anymore.
Why has God abandoned us?
Or like a guy you work with was like, you like beheading videos. You're like, you know what? Humanity's dead, and I don't want to be here anymore.
I don't like beheading videos.
Dude, I don't watch any of it.
I hate it.
don't watch
Yeah.
any of it. I want no part of that.
I don't like faces of
seen it
death.
one
I don't like
time.
anything like that. Yeah.
I like my violence fake.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
want real shit, man.
exactly.
I like film is an escape for me, and if you want to watch that, man, fuck it, you're gross.
People would like. I remember when all this was. There would be a website that you would go to, and like people would like send you links to this website.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah, it
why
was
are you-
called.
why are you-
What was it called?
I don't want to be friends with you.
Yeah.
Well, like it all still exists. Like Rotten.com.
Rotten.com.
That's
That's what it was.
And then there's like Best Gore and that sort of stuff. There's a whole subculture of that. And I know that they like, look, I'll be the first guy to rail on behalf of the First Amendment. I want everybody to have the right to say whatever they want. But at what cost, you know, at the cost of someone's life? You got to check you definitely have to check your humanity at the door when you invite that stuff into your life. But going back to Boogie Nights, dude, fucking
Thank you. Let me think about Dirk Diggler's dick.
So you've got Wahlberg, you got John C. Reilly, you've got the fucking Filipino dude in his underwear lighting firecrackers. Alfred Molina. Alfred Molina is coked out of his mind.
Yeah. I think he was really on coke.
They're playing Night Ranger super fucking and it's just like the scene is building, and I just wanted to like throw a TV at a wall. Like it just oh god.
Yeah.
It makes me cringe. The third act of Boogie Nights is
fucked up. Yeah, because it gets insane. It's like
yeah.
right when William H. Macy shoots his wife and her lover, like that's the moment the movie flips to the
and then blows his own head off in front of everyone.
Yeah, you know, like that's become like the staple in comedy lately is the like the third act is just ultra violent. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like that's the real life version of it. Like it's just it's just like one thing after another.
Yeah. Fucking A.
I have read a lot of books and watched plenty of documentaries about the golden age of adult film.
Yeah.
All that sort of shit happened all the time. That industry was owned and funded by the mob, and there was cocaine everywhere. It was not a good place to be.
Yeah. I'm just happy you got out of it, Drew.
You know, though, it's a lot like Godfather 3. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
You know, speaking of that, do you guys remember there's a sketch, Tracy Morgan and Jim Brewer, and it's them, they're ex-porn stars trying to live in the real world. And like, so the whole SNL sketch, the whole thing is them like working like normal day jobs. And then somebody says something and it causes them to start being sexual and take their clothes off. And it's the whole premise of this sketch.
Oh, God. That's
and
so
every
great.
time they're like, I'm just trying to live in your world, man.
That's amazing.
When you just said, every time that thing I'm out, they pull me back in. It made me think of that. My wife sent this like series of memes that were these, would you rather, basically.
Yeah.
And the one of them was fucking the most horrible thing I've ever heard. You're halfway inside your mom and your dad's halfway inside you. Which way do you go?
Yeah. Do you go forward or back up?
Oh no!
Whichever direction you go, it's hopefully falling on the closest shotgun.
Well, the answer is you definitely back up because you don't want to accidentally impregnate your mom with your kid.
I don't know if that's the answer. I don't know if there is a definitive on this one.
Left.
There's one answer, and that's suicide.
Yeah.
There's no other option. There's no other option there, guys. It's
maybe the answer is you stand up.
All right. Well, on that note, here are my 3 honorable mentions.
Jeez.
So first,
That was the most horrific thing in the podcast.
I know. Believe me, when I read it, I was like, "Oh God!" That was the scariest. Over all of these horror characters we've picked, that was the scariest thing I've ever read or seen or anything.
Wow.
But okay, so first off, we mentioned David Lynch earlier on the podcast, and
yeah.
there's a scene. It's just a scene. I don't even know if this counts as a horror character, but this is one of the scares that I remember like fucking me up for a long time when I saw it. And it's like it's a split fucking second, and it's nothing in the world, but it's everything in my world. And that is the homeless man in Mulholland Drive.
Oh,
jumps out from behind the fucking dumpster as she's walking out of the restaurant.
Yeah.
I love him.
Dude, that shit, I swear to God, I didn't expect it. There's no way you can expect it. They give you like a jump scare in the middle of a movie that's basically just slow drama for the first 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like the thing with Lynch is too, like you just go in with like high tension because you're automatically like, all right, I'm going to figure this out.
Yeah.
This is going to be the one that I get.
Well, look, if you go back to Eraserhead,
yeah,
just go back to like original David Lynch.
Uh-huh.
We were never meant to understand anything that man made. It's just, Eraserhead is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I have no idea what's happening in it.
Dude,
I've watched it several times, and I don't know what's going on.
We picked a couple months ago. We picked the like top shows that we're watching right now. And I picked Twin Peaks, but I couldn't. They were like, "Well, what is it?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Since then, I've seen it just being on the TV, and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I'll send them clips every once in a while, like the one of like him where he puts his finger on the guy's mouth to tell him to shush, and it's just a minute, and then he just starts grabbing his mouth like.
How about the baby in Eraserhead?
Yeah.
What? Oh God, what is going on?
All right.
Now, if you go to Blue Velvet though, like Dennis Hopper in that, like that's a more
It's a more mainstream issue.
Plausible.
Yeah. It's as mainstream as he can get.
Yeah. That's what I was just, who the hell was I talking to was last night or yesterday about Twin Peaks. And I said, yeah, like this current season, you actually thought like episode 17, you were like, he's wrapping shit up. Like this is like, I know where it's going. And then like the last episode, you're like, never mind. Like now I have to put all this shit together again. Oh, it's not now, but it is now. Okay, I got it.
All right. So for my next honorable, you got something else, Wes?
He's just one of those guys that like every time the credits roll, everybody just goes, fuck this. You walk away.
So for my next honorable, this is a gay guy in Hollywood who's great. Love him.
Okay.
Lloyd Kaufman, Toxic Avenger, Toxie.
Yeah.
Toxie's great, man.
He's great. I mean, he even went fucking mainstream. There was a goddamn Toxie cartoon. And if you watch the movie, it's insanely horrifically gory, but it turns into a children's cartoon series.
You do know too that he sold the rights to like a major studio, and like John Travolta was attached to the Toxic Avenger for several years.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Oh my god damn it.
So is that's still viable? That it could still like not Travolta, but
technically, I would assume this was in the 2000s.
I would like to see a Toxie resurgence.
Yeah.
So it's always possible, and if there's anything we've learned about Lloyd Kaufman is that he'll sell his fucking daughter for publicity. So I'm also like not for nothing, but fucking Lloyd defended Harvey Weinstein. Fuck Lloyd Kaufman.
Did he?
And yeah, he did. And he's also like,
I didn't know that.
He's ripped off some people.
Yeah,
that
good
I
point.
know.
He's not a good guy.
Maybe he's a piece of shit. But dude,
I will tell you
Toxie,
this.
I love Toxie.
I will tell you this though. Lloyd, to his fans, is a very generous person. As far as like, we went to MegaCon here in Orlando, and Lloyd Kaufman was there. You have all these guys that are sitting behind these tables charging $50 a fucking signature or whatever just to say hello. And Lloyd Kaufman is standing outside of his booth just saying hello to the fans, taking pictures. I have pictures with Lloyd Kaufman just like, hey man, nice to see you. You know, he's standing there in the middle of the room just, I don't know, maybe to say that the venue probably didn't give him the option to sell his signature or whatever, but still. You know, I think he is good at that stuff. And as far as the fans go, yes, he does treat fans well. Yeah.
Anybody working in the industry, he has a tendency to treat them like shit, especially like burgeoning filmmakers who he thinks he can just make a buck off of.
Yeah. That's probably true.
He's like Lloyd Christmas meets Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, not a good
guy. All right. And, finally, for my last honorable, this is a movie that definitely frightened me when I was a child, and I worried whenever I was playing in a sandbox, and I'm going with Tremors.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Tremors, man. That movie was awesome.
Fucking Kevin Bacon and Tremors, so good.
So Beetlejuice references Tremors in a way, if you think about it.
Well, yeah, that worm thing, yeah.
Sandworm. Whoa, sandworms, you hate them. Like that. I hate them myself. Because really, the Tremors things are sandworms.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly right.
Fucking love Tremors. God, that's such a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, Tremors is even good in the sequels just because it's like, they kept, you know, the guy that they had that like basically had the armory, the guy that was just all the gun crazy guy. He was in every Tremors sequel up until like Tremors fucking 20. I don't know. I feel like he's the isn't it the dad from Family Ties? Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
He is completely attached. He's put all in on trimmers.
I love that.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Right. I'm surprised. I'm gonna have my top three left. But mine are obviously a little bit more mainstream than some of you guys'. So the first one I'm going to take is one that haunts me to this day. Like, just thinking about the scene. As soon as I mention this, you guys are going to know the exact scene, and it's going to freak you out. And it's the girl Reagan McNeil from The Exorcist.
The Exorcist, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Reagan almost made mine.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely had it written down. Like, that's one that, much like, I think, like, between that and, like, The Shining, that's, like, if you talk about horror movies or something, like, especially with somebody older, they'd be like, oh, you mean, like, The Exorcist? Or, The Shining?
Rosemary's Baby would fall into that category.
Oh, yeah.
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan! The phrase "your mother sucks cocks in hell" will forever be a part of the pop culture lexicon. Because of
Absolutely.
Your mother's in here with us, Lewis. Mom, could you get out of here? Fucking
scary movie.
So good.
When the mom goes, "You're no fun." That's fun. Linda Blair went on to do this movie called Savage Streets, which everyone needs to watch.
You know, another one that she went on to do was Repossessed.
I love that fucking movie.
I've seen Repossessed.
Yeah. We've talked about that, right?
I think so.
I love Repossessed.
Repossessed.
You guys watch, or have you seen that new The Exorcist TV show with Gina Davis?
No.
All I've heard is that it is scary as fuck.
Dude, it is very, very, very good. Like, very good.
Yeah, especially for I don't like a lot of the big four networks like shows, and that's pretty damn good.
No. You know who else has some good stuff going on right now is Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi, yeah.
They've got a couple really good original series right now that are hopefully gonna gain them some credibility back that fucking Sharknado lost.
All right. Second one I'll take is this one's kind of there's not a lot of people I think that know about this one. I thought it was more popular than it is. But I remember I was with a buddy, went into a video store, saw this, and from then on, there's two monkeys that I think about, and it's Michael Jackson's monkey, and it's Ella from Monkey Shine.
Monkey Shines. Oh, that movie. Man.
Yeah.
If you're not scared of baboons, then,
oh man.
You are
crazy.
So scary.
Yeah.
So scary, dude.
Yeah. Just the whole, even the cover is freaky as hell. Just
does it hold up? I wonder.
I don't know. I
haven't watched it in years.
But when I watched it, it freaked me the fuck out, and I was just like, I always like when I was a kid, I wanted a monkey too. Like that was just one of the things. I wanted a pet monkey, and after watching Monkey Shines, I was like,
I'm good.
Nah.
Well, I told you about my great grandma who her roommate had a fucking monkey, and it was the scariest fucking thing. I went over there because I was a fat kid and she had gumdrops, but that monkey almost stopped me. It was almost enough to keep me from getting that sugar rush.
For the record, you could have went to any grandma's house and they had gumdrops.
Well, this was my grandma, so
this is the only.
Grandmas universally have gumdrops.
No doubt.
It's so weird.
My last one is from a recent one, and I haven't taken a victim yet. Well, we kind of did with Reagan a little bit, but the victim I'm going to take is from a recent movie, which might rank as my greatest horror movie when it's all said and done. The dude, obviously, director, killed it, and you guys obviously know who he is, but I'm talking about Chris from Get Out.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, Get Out. I don't actively go to watch horror movies, but I really wanted to support, Peele. And obviously the ratings were like unheard of, like how they had like 100% rating for a while before some stupid idiots went and fucked it up a little bit. But that movie was so incredible. It was so like on point with the time that we're going through. And he filmed it before, obviously, all this stuff was going on. And just the idea of what white people think about, black guys when they're trying to be nice to them, but don't understand that they're actually being racist. Yeah. But Chris, that dude played that role so incredible. His name is Daniel Kaluuya or something like that. That dude that role was amazing.
Yeah, that whole we both voted for Obama. Like that is such like the quintessential like you said like trying to be nice.
and honestly, if we learned anything from that, like I think we knew what Jordan we are familiar with Jordan Peele's voice. We know what he will try to convey in his art. Mm-hmm. But if we learned anything, is that you could probably trust that guy with a major franchise, and he would do good by it. Like if there's anything we learned, is that you could take a major IP, give it to him, and you're gonna get something good out of it.
Yeah, let's see Jordan Peele bring Toxie back to the fold.
And that's what I'm saying. Like if you handed him if you give a guy like that a Friday the 13th, a Halloween, whatever. Yeah. He's going to come from a place of purity because he loves horror, but he's also going to add a spin to it that's going to attract a different audience. That's what you're looking for anyway. So yeah.
I don't watch horror movies necessarily. I don't go out of my way to watch them. I watched actually more than I thought on this list, but but yeah, like that was the first one that I was like, I have to watch this. Yeah. You just heard everything going on about it.
It was great.
It's good to have people like that kind of bring people like me, back into the fold. Now I have a little bit more interested in some of these horror movies than I had prior to this, because it almost kind of brought me back in. Yeah. But what I think that I tend to like is, I'm this same way with hip hop music, and I'm a huge hip hop fan. But I'm the same way, is when you convey a message within your horror movie, when you have a message, then I enjoy it a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I completely, and that's like music in general.
Like sure. Well, honestly, almost all art is political in some fashion. Like there is a conscious to almost all art that's made, and whether that's hip hop that's culturally conscious, whether that's like punk rock, metal, whatever. Yeah. The same thing is conveyed in film, and horror films have always done a good job of, I don't want to say always, but like the stuff that sticks out, they always had a pretty good pulse. They had a good idea for the pulse of the culture. And if you look at something, if you use Night of the Living Dead as an example, Night of the Living Dead begat The Walking Dead. Yeah. Right. And The Walking Dead conveys a lot of, because that's now that's such a that's something that universally people love. Mm-hmm. And The Walking Dead represents a lot of things, discussing politics, discussing society, discussing how we deal with mankind. And when you know that lineage can be traced all the way back to this fucking black and white movie made for nothing, like it's kind of a cool way of looking at horror as a genre and saying like, wow, they've really they've gone out of their way to make sure that their message is a part of the story they're telling.
Yeah. I feel like we should just end on that.
Yeah, that's really good.
I mean, that's really good. Yeah, I don't know what you can say behind what you just said. All right, trades.
I'm James Bryington, and I approve this message. Trades. Is anybody interested in doing trades, or maybe an ad?
I like this whole list. Like, I don't like. There's nobody on this list that I would like. There's nobody I would kick off of the. Yeah. Even the honorable mentions, like
Yeah.
All of these are fucking good.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with my team.
Yeah, I think my team's pretty solid too.
Yeah,
I got all number ones, so
Also, if you look too, what's pretty badass is if you compile this list of movies, this is a nice little like modern history of horror film.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, this is like, you know, even you put it and everything together. That's 32 movies. I mean, that's a good way to kick off your Halloween. Just watch one a day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
One a day for October. So
you know what's crazy that didn't make the list? Nobody brought up The Thing, and nobody brought up the Queen Mother from Alien.
Yeah,
they're both on my roster.
Yeah, I talked to James about Alien and beforehand, and it was just because like I wanted to kind of keep it separate because although it does have the horror, like to me it's more sci-fi. So personally, like
for sure.
Yeah, I mean just my own little nitpickiness, I wouldn't put it in here. But we put in other shit that probably weren't.
I actually didn't know that the alien was called a xenomorph until I started doing this research.
Yeah, I saw that on the list. A lot of these things I didn't know had names until I was like, oh, right. Okay.
I definitely didn't know about Bubba Sawyer.
You know, another weird thing too is when you think about Alien, our first thought, our gut instinct is always like, that's science fiction. Mm-hmm. Tell me of a scarier sequence of events than coming down to the end of that movie.
Oh my God.
When the lights are flickering in that fucking ship and like, it's like they're getting cornered. Like that's some, that is fucking grade A horror, dude.
Even just recently for Alien Covenant, I thought that they captured.
Yeah.
I thought that they captured what they captured in maybe the original 2 Alien movies. Just that final scene where they're having sex in the shower and the aliens like approaching, and the next scene is you just see the shower fucking covered in blood, and it's it's fucking awesome.
And you know, another one that I thought might, and I don't know, I guess not, but the Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because we don't know what she is. Like, I don't count that Blair Witch 2 that came out like a couple years after Blair Witch, where it's like, hey, you've got an obligation to fulfill a contract. Here's Blair Witch 2, I guess. The original Blair. The original Blair Witch is fucking, man, that movie got the job done, dude. Yeah. Like that's a cool movie.
It's definitely fucked up.
Yes, and conceptually, like knowing like we don't see that thing. It's pretty fucking cool.
That's what, like, you know, pumping up my number one a little bit is that's what I remember watching a thing with Carpenter during the first screening of Halloween, that scene where Michael gets his mask knocked off. He's just a regular guy, but he said everybody freaked out because it was like you finally saw, like, this is just a guy. Like, there's nothing like, he's not like deformed. Like, he's just like that. But he said people back then like freaked out in the original screening, like when they saw like when his mask got ripped off. People were just like, "Oh my God!"
Well, think about Leatherface as a good example of that. Leatherface is wearing someone else's face over his, but when we get the close-ups, his teeth are all fucked up. Yeah, you know, like we know, like he's not right. There's something wrong with him. There's deformities under there. And Jason, we know Jason's fucked up. Man.
And obviously Freddy is
right. Michael is not. He's just her brother.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fucking scary in and of itself.
Well, just remember, Drew is just a brother. So.
I say before we compile, you know, like get the list out. Wes, why don't you tell us a little bit about Powerbomb?
Yeah, sure. So we wrapped a feature this summer called Powerbomb. We had a very successful crowdfunding campaign, which I know crowdfunding to a degree can be a bit of a dirty word, but it's a really it's something we're very proud of. It was written and directed by Zach Showalter and BJ Colangelo, based on a story I came up with. It's about an independent professional wrestler who's kind of at a crossroads in his career. He has a family and knows that he might be at a point where he doesn't know if he can keep doing this or if he's going to be able to cross over into that major the big show, so to speak. Right. And meanwhile, he has a fan who, out of fear of losing his heroic favorite wrestler, goes to some great and dangerous lengths to make sure that his wrestler maintains his credibility, so to speak. And it's a super, super fucked up movie, and I think people are going to really enjoy it.
It's awesome.
Stars Matt Cross, who is Son of Havoc on Lucha Underground. Ronnie Jonah, who is an actress and a former wrestler, former valet for The Miz. Stars myself, my son Cash, Britt Baker, who's an independent wrestler who you may have seen in Women of Honor. She's also, for those marks out there, she's also Adam Cole's girlfriend. What's up, baby? Who else we have in it? We have Ricky Shane Page, who is, I believe, a multiple-time Tournament of Death winner. It's hard. You'd be hard pressed to believe that this guy lets people bust light tubes over his face because he's so good and so funny and so smart. Greg Iron, the handicap hero, Super Cop Dick Justice. We got a lot of wrestlers. We've got a mix of wrestlers and actors. And it's a really cool movie. It's got its one foot in the world of independent wrestling, one foot in the world of obsessive fandom and what line obsessive fandom can cross. So
where can the people find it?
Well, we are currently in post-production. They're color correcting. They're editing for sound. They're doing all the post-production stuff. The plan, hopefully, is to have this film out in the spring.
Okay.
And we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it ends up. We've got some hope that it'll end up in places that people can easily access it, but we're very proud of it. We think we've made something really cool. We made it right in Cleveland using Cleveland film crews, Cleveland actors, Cleveland wrestlers, and something we're very proud of.
Awesome.
It was several years in the making.
Yeah, and
so when the movie comes back around, when you're ready to release,
yes,
let's have you come back on, and we'll figure out another podcast.
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. Something else I do want to plug as well. If you guys get a chance, go to Indiegogo and look up Public Access 3000. There's a sketch comedy group in Cleveland called Aldous Mustache, and they've made these rounds of these sketches. It's really bonkers, absurdist comedy stuff. And they've always done it with just everything at their fingertips. Now they're trying to use some money. They want to go bigger and better, and they're running an Indiegogo campaign right now. So if you go to Indiegogo, you can look up Public Access, AXIS 3000. And depending on when this comes out, I may or may not be telling you this because I may or may not have been cast in it. So,
dude, I love it.
Yeah. So you read through those lines however you feel. Please keep an eye out for Powerbomb. You can follow me on Twitter at Wes Bloodsprayer. Also follow Sickening Pictures and Turnstile Films. Those are our production companies, and that's where you can keep up to tabs on Powerbomb.
All right, hell yeah!
This has all been added to by your daughter singing in the background.
No, for real. She's dancing naked because she wants me to put a dress on her. Right? Right? Hey, say hi, Uncle Drew.
Hi.
That's beautiful.
All right, no one wants to.
Oh man.
All right, guys.
Thank you for having me, guys. This was so much fun. I would come back anytime.
Cool.
Yeah, so kind of our ending theme in the show is just we read the teams that have been created by each person in the order that they've been picked. So here we go. Number 1, Drew's team of horror characters. Michael Myers from Halloween. Dracula from Dracula. Pennywise the dancing clown from It. Pinhead from Hellraiser, and Balak the Nun from Conjuring 2. Wes's team of horror characters. Number 1, Bubba Sawyer, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Number 2, Wolfman from Wolfman. Number 3, Ben from Night of the Living Dead. Number 4, Bruce the Shark from Jaws. And number 5, Damien from The Omen. And James's team of horror characters. Number 1, Fredward Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. Number 2, the woman in the black dress from Insidious. Number 3, Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice. I said Beetlejuice. Just said it 3 times. Number 4, Ashley Williams from Evil Dead. And number 5, Norman Bates from Psycho. And for Andy's team of horror movie characters. Number 1, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. Number 2, Chucky from Chucky. Number 3, Jack Torrance from The Shining. Number 4, Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. And number 5, Jigsaw from Saw.
Love it.
Man.
Love it.
So go on Twitter, tell us how we all did. Again, I'm Mr. Sparkle X, James.
At James Bryan. Bryin.
Andy?
A-Train Liner.
And Wes, give us that again.
At Wes Blood Sprayer.
Wes, man, thanks a lot for being on this.
Yeah, thanks. Man.
Thanks for having me, guys. This was a lot of fun.
This was a hell of a lot of fun.
We've ever done.
So with that, I say, stay cool.